Just real quick, did we get any money from Lord Summers also, or
No,
was it
because
just
what he did was offer to he used the money he was going to give you to acquire the items that he gave.
okay? No worries. I was just wondering if I needed to mark
Yeah.
anything.
You don't.
Gotcha.
So Ellendale and the four teams to the um, northwest of Rivengard is where Moira went to get aid from the rest of the druids. So for the most part, I mean that's kind of where. I mean, obviously there was a big combat. You guys they had to fight a bunch of stuff, and I think Caden only had to negate one critical. So I'm not even pulling up the critical. Oh, so Shane, that's one other
Yes, I
homebrew
saw that mentioned.
one.
It can be.
Yeah, I mean it can be pretty realistic.
I have a
actually,
question
so.
about your critical hit table already.
Yeah.
Does it apply only to nat 20 rolls, or if someone has a feature that expands their crit range, does it apply to that?
I mean, yeah, if a fighter has like the ability, like they crit on 19 or whatever, then it would still count.
Okay.
I also have one for the GM, which is generally not quite as harsh, but as a
Thank you.
grave cleric, Caden gets to negate like five crits per day or something like that. So I don't even pull it up. It's not, there's no point. He gets to use a reaction to do it, so it's like, whatever.
See, you laugh, but
You
last
just gotta
campaign,
roll more of these is what
I crit twice before my turn.
Yeah.
That's
What
true,
you
but-
do is attack with the horde of kobold. They touch, but it's a lot.
Yeah, this is true. So this is the city-state of Rivengard. So Rivengard is both a city and it's a territory. It has been conquered and reconquered for generations. It is one of the oldest cities on Agamar and one of the most technologically advanced as well. And just its location, its safe harbor, makes it very desirable. And the current leader of the city-state, Morin, is he basically was able to free Rivengard from outside influence about, I think it was like 40 years ago. I can't even remember my own lore.
No, it was because that's why. The only reason I remember is because it's just happened just before Grix was born.
Yeah. Around Trockford is where our last session had sort of taken place. It was a carnival, circus, murder mystery that ended up leading to a tear in the reality, opening up to the Feywild, which they have successfully closed. And just as an FYI, so if you look on the eastern side of the map, there's the little icon of East Keep. That is where the Guildmaster is headed to assist his friend Ada. So that's just why you guys are the only ones in the guild right now that would be available, except Nyx, who is the gnome,
And his cat.
and his cat.
But you do not touch the cat.
You don't touch the cat.
Aww.
He's very protective of his cat.
I think only one of us has ever successfully been able to pet it.
This is true. So real quick, I will move everybody to the old guild. You can see. Oh, look, and there's their old. And there's our gunslinger. I'm just going to leave them both. So that is Nyx, and this is Quinn, and Ada is not there. That's Moira behind the bar. She's the druid.
Mm.
So what I'm going to do now And you guys are probably gonna have to zoom out because this is a big ass map. But I'm going to move everybody to the new Hemswick Hall. It's gonna be at the very bottom.
Ooh.
You guys are at the front door.
I
Obviously,
call the master.
Rowan wouldn't be there yet. So I was gonna do some dynamic, but I decided not to, just because it's easier to just have it all available. There is a second floor, but I put it on a different map so that you can if you guys want to, we can do there versus because you do it where you have it on the same map, but since it's so big, it's just easier. I thought to just put it in a different space.
Why is Nick's got to be stealing my room?
Yeah, that's the one that has the desk in it, right? So he's the administrator.
I would have slept on the couch to be near the books.
Yeah, with the cats on.
True.
There's in the library.
Yeah, so that's the library, and then obviously there's little cozy chairs by the fireplace. So there are bedrooms upstairs as well. There are two very nice bedrooms that obviously Quinn will take one, and I think Nick's will pick the other because this is actually the only original member of the guild still remain.
Oh, David Pebble.
I didn't
No,
realize there was books in there.
No. No. Rick's just will.
Yeah, so so up here, like there is it's kind of like a little workshop basically that
Are there
Verlin would be able
stables
to.
here?
Not on the map, but we can say that there are some.
Pebble
I mean,
will be so happy.
because there's a like up in the upper left, there's like a little space, like a little trough and everything, so you could have animal there. And
Pebble
if
is
you
like gonna drop right.
and there are stairs, like obviously there's stairs in the front. And that front foyer that go up. There's also some in the back that go up. There are stairs over in Nick's office.
Wow.
You're right here to view the
So obviously you'll have to add that into Roll20 because it doesn't exist.
Are these like the domain spells where they're always prepared, or no?
Yes, they will be. They will be. And I will. I'm just gonna put this in your journal so that you can add it as you see fit. And then the 7th level or 6th level spell is this. Divinity spell, and then it has a limit on how often you can cast it. But it's basically, as Mike put it, an oh shit button where you can basically you heal everybody and you can cure basically every effect that they would be.
Except deafen.
Yeah, because they have to be able to hear the call. So
Yeah.
essentially, I mean, I didn't want to. I wanted it to be a spell and not actually like be a under the channel divinity sort of thing.
Mhm.
But you are basically calling upon the power of Kellenborg himself, which is why you can only do it every 7 days.
Can everyone hear
Okay.
me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you, Rob.
I've not heard anything apart from the word stairs multiple times for the last 10 minutes.
Well, to answer your question from Discord, Matt said yes, you would have an area that you could do stuff. There's like I think he said there was like a tool
right
shed
here.
over here, and then you would have other areas around there too.
Okay.
There's like right in here too. There's kind of like an armory and stuff. So
Perfect. I said sorry about that. It seems to have cleared up now, but it was being a complete cock.
it's fine.
So sorry, the Phantasmal Force. If I cast that at a higher level, am I treating it like the spiritual weapon? I think it gets 1d8 every 2 levels. Or is it just something I can only cast at first level?
It's a good question. Because it's a
We
made-up
could-
spell. I don't really know. I mean, I
Yeah.
think for now it's probably at this, but I would say as we get to higher levels, we might bump it up just because 1d8 won't matter much at level, like 13 or whatever.
My
But
first thought went to if you cast at a higher level, maybe it does multiple.
it's possible. Yeah, I mean, we can tweak it as we level up, just so that
Okay.
it remains useful. I think right now it's actually still useful as it stands, but later on, like I think that like once we're in like level 12 or 13 or whatever, like 1d8 probably isn't going to matter much anymore, so it kind of becomes useless.
Okay.
Eh,
I mean, 1d8 is better than nothing, but for a first level spell like a spell slot, it's kind of
no.
It's in an
Well-
interesting place because it scales with the character levels too. Because as a creature gets more attacks, it will apply more often.
That's true. Because it is. I mean, it's every strike, so lasts
That's
for 10
true, as
rounds.
opposed to
It's kind of like it's
Spiritual
in the
weapon,
same spot
spiritual
as
weapon.
Hex, except for it's on the target is who gets buffed. It's not debuffing someone.
Yeah, so like on multiple attacks, I mean, it's technically 2d8 if they have an extra attack. Yeah, we'll because that's
Figure it
that's
out later, that's
yeah,
fine.
I'm completely open to messing with it because again, it's not real. It's just made up spell, so there's no like specific Wizards of the Coast rule behind it, so we can make it whatever we want it to be. So yeah, I mean, if we feel like it's kind of not doing much anymore, we can tweak it. And just
Sounds good.
for the record too, we'll, if you look in the foyer, there's a massive statue of a dragon, which is a statue of Bahamut, as is the default patron of Rivengard, because the head of Rivengard is a cleric of Bahamut. So also there's a piano. Who plays piano?
Quinn, I'm sure.
Yeah, he probably does. So, Shane, the head of the Guildmaster Quinn is a bard,
Ooh,
and so that's another thing that it would probably be less necessary, and certainly less necessary if your girlfriend joins us. But except Nyx, who doesn't it has the stats of a commoner, all of the other guild members are actually like characters, and so if you need assistance from them, or in the case of Pebble and Quinn will just like cast weird spells on her so that she can jump really high and crawl on the walls and stuff because it's funny.
I approve of this.
So they have the ability to assist on casting spells or whatever. Obviously, if there's 6 people, it was mainly just put in place that in case with fewer people, we needed more help to tackle something. We had NPCs that were available. Obviously, if there's 6 player characters, it's probably not as necessary, and it can just be goofy stuff like casting Longstrider and stuff like that. So, you guys had a little bit of downtime, and we had kind of vaguely come up with the thought that Rowan would have heard some of the stories about Fortuna's favor recently, and you guys are getting a good reputation for yourselves. So he may just come knocking at the door to ask about joining up and seeing what you guys are all about. So I don't know which of you would be again, we don't really have like Caden is probably the closest to the face, to the leader, the person who's going to step up and have conversations with everybody. Because Nyx is the administrator, but he's not a very personable guy. And Quinn is very, very personable. He just happens to not be here right now. So I don't know which one of you would wants to answer the door, I guess.
Maybe not the guy
I'll
with
answer
shit
the door.
internet.
Well, you got to scare away all the people trying to,
Yeah, have you all the
the Jehovah Witnesses. That's it.
exactly the Bahamut witnesses?
Can we help you? What are you selling? We're not interested.
Oh, I heard that this is the home of Fortuna's favor.
Yeah, the new home. Our last one wasn't as nice.
Well, allow me to introduce myself. I am Rowan Blackblade, a mercenary for hire. I've heard that your guild's been doing some wonderful work, though, and I was interested to see if you might have any positions available.
Yeah, we can always use some more members. We have a pretty big place now, and there's a lot of empty.
Excellent. And Rowan will walk directly in past you and just start looking around. So, where's my room?
I think you're gonna have to talk to the guild administrator first. Follow me.
This is a wonderfully large home you folks have.
As soon as you guys are in the library, all you hear is shush.
Don't mind him. He's a bit of a stick in the mud.
Oh, no, it's no problem at all. Completely understand.
And
Hey.
as an aside, as you guys are looking at if you're zoomed in, you'll notice that the tokens are actually a little smaller than like the grid on the map. And I turned the grid off, but the map itself actually hasn't. The reason being that if you look at the art on the map and the grid, the grid lines are way too big for the where you would be standing and stuff. So I made the token smaller and just ignored the grid and turned it off. So, but obviously you can't delete the grid from a map if it's already on there. So that's the reason why it's a little bit off and why your tokens are a little bit small in comparison.
Yeah, no worry.
Honestly, would not have even noticed the grid if you didn't mention it.
Yeah, I mean, it bothered me when I first looked at it. So I just wanted, because again, I mean, if you look at the chairs and stuff, like there's 2 chairs almost in one grid. Like you can't, if your token fits within the grid, you take up that whole space, like you're taking up 2 chairs.
Maybe I need 2 chairs, okay?
Yeah, so it's just one of those little things that trigger me. So I had to change it. But
I'll be honest, I hadn't noticed the grid at all, except for the rooms with the marble floors, and I assumed it was just like
yeah,
blocking.
so
And
exactly,
then
those
the
look
one room with a green floor, it was like, oh, there it is, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of odd. So so you'll see that Buttons the cat is sleeping on the couch, and then the small very old gnome is sitting at his desk as per usual, just writing. And he looks up and he asks Caden, "Who's this?"
This is a prospect. Do the thing. Give him the spiel. He's interested in joining us, and I figure we have all these rooms we need to fill.
Well, there's not really much of a spiel here. And he starts ruffling through the desk and pulling out paperwork. He's like, it's mainly just signing some paperwork and here. And he kind
Of course,
he doesn't get up. He just sort of like waves the paper.
As Rowan steps up to sign the paper, I'm gonna sit on the couch and pet the.
He doesn't yell at you, but you can see he kind of like just stares at you with like just disdain. The cat does. The cat seems happy. It was asleep and it doesn't like get up and run away or anything. And he gives you like a really thick stack of paper. It's like, yes, showing you basically like, you sign here, initial here, and
of course, the formalities. I understand.
And one of the things that I liked about this kind of, again, just I'm sure that the person that made this map wasn't thinking about it, but I thought this was perfect for Nyx, in that normally when you would have like a room like this and then like you would have chairs for somebody to sit at on the other side of the desk, but like that is totally not what Nyx would want. So I'd really like the idea of like he's very short. That's just a chess table, but like there's no chairs like in front of his desk to sit and have a conversation because he doesn't want to have a conversation. It's like, here, fill this out and then leave me alone. Oh yeah, I forgot that you took elemental eyes off of this creature.
I did.
You've got a little bit of it probably take about 15 minutes to fill everything out.
Yeah, Rowan's pretty diligent about it. Doesn't, no muss, no fuss, just matter of fact. Yep, okay. And then this one here, and which of these lines? It seems you have possible, like both right here. Yes, okay, all right. So, what exact kind of business do you do here beyond just adventuring?
Well, at the moment, we kept our old guild hall open as a bar, and we had a bit of work for a distillery a while back, and they've been providing us with alcohol, so we are running that as a bar now as additional income. One thing that the paperwork would say is that the guild, I think it's 10%, right? Didn't I say 10%? So the guild, like whatever off, like it only if the guild itself. So if Quinn or Nyx finds a job for you guys, and the reward is 500 gold, the guild keeps 10% of that for administrative purposes and to keep the guild hall running and all that kind of stuff. So you don't get
barely a pittance.
Yeah, so you don't get a salary, but you would get free room and board.
And I think that doesn't apply to stuff found.
Correct.
Doing the job, right?
Anything that you find or sell or whatever, you get to keep, and all the income. It's just for the initial asking price, and then also obviously if you all go out and get your own job without the guild being a part of it, you would get to keep the full proceeds of that as well. So they don't take that just because you are in the guild. Everybody's free to sort of go out and do the thing. It's just basically if there was a job posted and the guild is the one that's administrating it, then they would take the 10%. So
we're all still freelancers. We just have a standing contract too.
Basically.
Seems agreeable. surprised how little you charge off the top. Keep a place like this running?
Well, this place is new, so that might change in the future, although I have to talk to Quinn about it, and, well, Quinn doesn't seem to care much about money.
Ah, well, I suppose I'm in no position to complain about it then.
Well, I am, and I will definitely be complaining to Quinn about it.
You seem like you've got a pretty sharp wit, my friend.
Well, I'm glad someone noticed, and he kind of looks at Caden as he's walking over to the chessboard.
I'm sorry. It's hard to notice the wit behind all the grumpy.
He's like, unless you're here for something, you can leave.
Oh, I'm waiting for him. I was gonna introduce him to others.
Yeah, well, you can both leave then.
It was a pleasure making your acquaintance, friend. I'll see you again
Yeah.
soon, I'm sure.
And he just kind of like waves his hand.
Well, over the morning and stuff, yeah, I would want to take a look at the diseased bark that I picked off the tree and try to compare it to like the piece of the elemental that I took to see if it could be the same thing that caused both to like go bad.
Do a nature check.
Good.
They seem somewhat similar. You know, your best guess would be that they might be related, but you're not sure.
Well, in that case, it no longer interests me. So I will
Throw them away.
yeah. No, I'll go up to Verlin because I saw him grabbing stuff too, and I will hand you 3 vials, Verlin, and one is diseased bark that I picked off of one of the trees. One is like the blood sap, kind of whatever you want to call it, from the elemental from the Feywild, and then just a chunk of its whatever you want to call it, skin, carcass, whatever. And I just hand them all to you, and I just say, I can't really do much with these, so here.
Ah, thank you. If you wish, you can try and help me with some of my notes while I go over what you've just handed me.
Yeah, so as
Yeah.
I'm sorry. As I'm walking Rowan around, I'll probably get lost a time or two. The place is large and new. And then when I stumble on you guys, I will introduce. Hey guys, this is Rowan. Rowan, Verlin, Grix.
Pleasure to make both of your acquaintances.
Hey Verlin.
Yes?
Sorry, if you have time, why don't you spar with him and see what he's got?
I can certainly do that in a few moments. I'm trying to get some notes together on the eyes I took from the elemental.
Pebble's outside. She always likes a fight.
That's a good point, Grix. Here, let me introduce you to Pebble.
All right. Good luck with your studies, gentlemen.
Good luck with your fight.
Right as you're walking out, I'm just gonna. I hope she doesn't explode on him.
She probably will as soon as she gets angry.
I'll poke my head back in. Anyone up for bets?
I'll go for Pebble.
Yeah. Grix will just kind of laugh and just say, "Gambling is not for me."
Suit yourself. Hey Pebble, I want to introduce you to someone.
Yeah?
Pebble, this is Rowan. Rowan, this is Pebble. Rowan's going to be joining us and helping us out in the future. I was hoping maybe you could spar with him to test his mettle.
Haha, I can do that. Let me just put Carrot over here, and she.
Rowan is going to eyeball Caden and be like, "Are you sure about this?"
Why not? I mean, if you're going to be working with us, we got to know what you're capable of, right?
I'd rather not kill one of my co-workers on my first day.
That's what I'm here for. I'll make sure no one dies.
All right, suit yourself.
And Pebble has led away her Shetland pony, Carrot.
Did you ever? I don't remember if you did. I vaguely thought you did. Did you ever get a picture of? Because I can add a token for.
Yeah, I have a picture somewhere. I forget, but I will find it again.
Okay, and then also, Mike, if you want a picture of your donkey.
Yep.
What a weird thing to say out of context.
Right. Does Caden and Verlin have horses? They do, don't they?
I do. It wasn't anything of note. It was just a normal horse.
Yes, it's called horse.
Yes, not a horse, right? That was your.
So, Rowan, what do? Do you smash things? Do you cut things? Do you blow them up? Do you use magic?
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that, I suppose. Though not much without this. And Rowan pulls from his hip a rapier that appears to be made of obsidian.
That's kind of shiny. I just got this sword, and she just waves around a short sword. But I do have this giant shield, and she just like slams it down. It seems a bit larger than is necessary for such a small creature.
Rowan takes his own shield off of his back and says, "That's a very impressive piece of equipment you have there. You maneuver it around well enough."
Yeah, I can run around. I can go like this way, and I can go this way. You know,
Well, I'm glad to know that it doesn't impede you.
It does slightly, but that's okay.
How big are these squares? I want to make sure I'm at least 20 feet away from Pebble.
I mean, they're probably. I mean, based on the appearance of them, I mean,
10
they're
foot
probably about
squares.
10 foot, probably.
Okay.
Also, I think that I think these are actually like dog houses down here.
That seems like it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Could
Carrot
we
can fit.
confirm that me and Grix are safe because we're behind cover in the house?
Unless she blows up the house.
Well, no,
Um,
I think once the whole fight thing is about to start, Grix might go outside just because he knows Pebble might explode, so he wants to watch.
I mean, you go up to the second floor and view the from the.
Oh no, he's just gonna stick his head right out around the door.
Okay,
Alright.
ready? You
Guys,
want
roll
to try and punch me?
I not much of a puncher myself, but we can start if you're ready.
Yeah, you can whack me with your sword.
All right.
Let's put some combat music on.
So Rowan's going to start by holding out a hand to Pebble and speaking a word of magic, and is going to cast Hex on Pebble.
Pebble just tilts her head.
So from there, pick the sword back up, look at her and say, "You sure you're ready?"
Yeah.
All right. He will then use his Hexblade's curse and make an attack. And that attack will be a booming blade.
And it misses.
Of course. So single swing and a miss. That's... Huh. You're quite fast for your size.
Thank you. I can walk really fast, as I showed you before. But I can whack you with a sword. I can whack you again.
As a reaction to the first... Actually, no. Take it. So I take 7. Which is 38. And I make a con save. At advantage. But I make it with the first one anyway. Well, that was something. Alright, my turn again. Rowan is going to make another swing, and that will be a booming blade.
Oop, that one hits.
That one is a hit. It's more damage than that because it's also got an extra +3, and then another.
That's why you got to sort out those modifiers, man.
I know. So it'll be 16 piercing damage, 6 thunder damage, and 5 necrotic damage.
Isn't the thunder only if she moves?
No, once you're a high enough level, there's a plus a d8 on the initial hit, and if she moves, she'll take another 2d8.
Can I say that for the record, as a GM, I think Booming Blade is the worst spell that's ever been created.
Why? Because it like locks you down.
Well, because it as a cantrip, it's the most broken spell I've ever seen.
Fuck, that's a cantrip.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing is, obviously, once I get extra attack, I can't extra attack and use it in the same turn, so it actually loses damage, but it's good later. And you know what? On top of all these, we're going to do a defensive flourish. So another 2 points of piercing, and I have another 2 points to my AC until next turn.
Okay.
Okay, so Pebble just got hit.
Yep.
Pebble got hit real hard.
All right, Grix is going to poke his head back in just a little bit.
Oh, yep.
Oh, Pebble, don't let him get the best of you. I'm gonna egg her on a bit.
Okay.
And she rages. She starts breathing really quick, starts getting angry about how much damage she just took. And I don't know what a 17 does.
So 17, strong winds blast out from you. Each creature within 10 feet of you must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed away from you a number of feet equal to 5 times your constitution modifier and then fall prone.
You gonna break our fence?
I get the feeling I failed that.
Yep.
So 10 feet, and I fall prone.
I think it's... What's your con modifier?
My confine, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 3.
So 15 feet.
So 15 feet.
15
prone.
feet,
Yes.
and I
you're
fall
prone.
prone.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, it doesn't do her much good because she doesn't have much range. She can throw a dagger at you.
Well, it's his turn to get up, but I just see him get
Is that
knocked
the-
to the railing, flip
Pebble-
over it, eat
Pebble
dirt.
just rage, so
Yeah,
she
that
still
wasn't.
got her
That was,
attack.
that
Yeah.
Oh
was just,
shit, that's right.
That was
Yeah,
just
it
your
was
bonus
only a
action.
Yeah. And now it's gonna be at advantage.
Yeah,
'Cause she's
she
prone.
runs over, I guess takes the
As soon as you move, it is
Yeah.
another 16 thunder
My
damage.
Oof.
I freaking hate that spell so much.
Double 8s.
And then
So yeah, one of those hits for 11 piercing. So I'm down to that, and I gotta make
Can you
another
show
con.
us his health bar so I know if I need to heal?
Make my con save. Okay. Rowan's turn. Use half my movement to stand back up. Say, huh. Well, that was impressive. 2 can play at that game, though. And I will use another booming blade.
that hits.
Okay, so
Is it 5 or 6 for the 11 piercing?
You'd round it down to 5.
Okay.
before that happens, though, because it might go up again, I'm also going to apply a mobile flourish to this. So it actually goes up to 16 piercing.
Okay.
as well as you are still hexed. Oh, actually, and that's without that modifier. So 19 piercing. I'm sorry, 19 piercing, 1 thunder, and 6 necrotic. And you are pushed automatically 10 feet.
No, she's not, because her shield
Right.
negates it
Unpushable.
entirely. Unpushable.
Ha! Rowan will watch as you stand your ground as he tries to shove you and just be like,
This
well,
tiny
that was
little,
unexpected.
tiny little gnome just slams the shield down and doesn't move.
I imagine that scene from Superman where the one guy goes to push him and then just like pushes himself backwards.
So I also
Well-
just realized, Pebble, there is an extra little thing about your class that we haven't been doing.
Oh,
So, it says that some surge effects are persistent. They're active for as long as you're raging at the end, and once your rage ends, you can only have one persistent effect at a time. If you trigger another wild surge on a roll with a new persistent effect, the new one will replace the old one. Because that's the thing. This is the part we forgot or didn't do ever. Is additionally, whenever you take damage, roll a d20. You trigger a wild surge if the result of the roll is equal to or less than half the damage you took.
Oh god, let's total up that damage real quick. Let's see,
So-
6, and then it was 19, which you halved, so a 9, so 15, so 16 damage. So if you roll under an 8,
oops. Yep.
So now roll another d20. So healing energy radiates from you. Roll a number of d12s equal to your rage damage. You restore up to the total as hit points divided as you choose among any number of creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you.
She gives them all to herself.
Right.
huh?
I'm enjoying this show, so I'm gonna cast Mass Healing Word on both of them.
So it says to once you trigger a wild surge in this way, you cannot trigger another until the start of your next turn. So if you would, it's kind of like it would happen the first time you took damage, but then if you get hit again, it wouldn't.
So like multi-attack and stuff, or
Yeah,
get
so
hit by
it-
multiple enemies.
Yeah, so it's kind of like an automatic reaction to taking damage.
Interesting.
Oh, and
Pretty cool.
with Pebble's necklace, all healing gains an extra die, so it's actually an additional D12 and additional whatever D4.
Oh, but
So yeah,
if
that's another
the case,
ca-
then I'll heal. I would rather just use Healing Word and heal Rowan. I wouldn't heal Pebble also.
Okay.
Yeah, so Caden, that's good for you to know. I forgot about that. So in addition, the necklace that she has, it allows her to sense evil, but also it allows an extra die of whatever die it is for healing. So if you heal a D12, she would get 2 versus everybody else's 1.
Okay.
Huh.
So
So-
so you get a bonus to healing her basically.
So, all right. So I got 7 hit points back.
Yes.
Okay. Oop, come on. Type the right numbers. There we go.
Come on,
All
now,
right,
Pebble.
well, that
we
was-
gotta keep it even.
That was my action. So, okay. New plan. And Rowan will move away. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, I had to stand up, didn't I?
Yeah, so half your movement to stand up.
Haha. So, actually, no, then I guess I'm just going to end my turn here.
She is going to get super angry, partially at Caden as well for healing you, and recklessly attack you with her short sword.
Okay. That is going to be the first one hits. Second one hits. I haven't been doing it before now, so even with the unexpected healing, I'm not gonna do the thing yet. and instead I will take both hits. So I take 16. I have to make 2 saves, which brings me down to, oh yeah, I'm bloodied now. That's for sure. Okay. First save. Succeeds. Second save. Second save fails. Hex is gone. All right. Anything else on your turn, Pebble?
Nope. Get ready to slash you real good again.
Okay. That was unpleasant. No more playing around with this. And Rowan is going to cast Suggestion. So Pebble, make me a wisdom save?
Yes. She is real good at this.
Barbarians are not known for their wisdom.
Nope.
Save your energy and give up.
Oh, that's so against what Tuple thinks, but it is a suggestion. I guess that makes sense. I was running around with Carrot a lot as well before. I think it's sit down. I guess you win this time. And she sits.
You did a wonderful job, my dear. And Rowan will offer you a hand to shake.
She kind of like stretches up an arm slightly, but doesn't quite make it because she's small and she's on the ground now.
He will absolutely crouch down to make that handshake happen.
So who's winning, Grix?
I after she sits down, I walk back in. I'll just say, well, she was hurting him, but I believe magic won. So I believe he did.
Interesting.
Too bad she's not an elf. Wouldn't have worked.
Oh, wait. Gnomes get advantage on things against magic, so I'm going to just roll one more. Nope. Okay, that's it.
Because elves can't be charmed, so.
Yep.
Well, I'm just
It lasts for 8 hours, so Rowan will walk back over to Caden and say, well, I think that proves sufficient, at least.
Pebble is just inching her way off on the ground. Hey, I'm just gonna sit here with the horses and the donkey.
And the dogs that we'll have to get. Yeah, I don't think Caden's back, so.
So,
We should probably see how he matches up to your magic, if that's how he fights.
Grix kind of looks at him, and I'm not much of a fighter, especially when it's not fighting for my own life.
Oh, would you prefer I do it and you look at my notes?
If you want to, you can. I'm not looking for to fight for no reason.
Well, if he's going to be coming with us, we need to know if he's competent, and if he's using magic on Pebble, it's not really a good test of strength, is it?
They exchange blows first, but if you think it's important to test more, go for it.
Matt, can I hear this conversation? I'm assuming I can't, but just out of curiosity.
Probably not.
Okay.
Well, it shouldn't take too long. Have fun with my notes, and Valen will start to head out the door. Pebble, what are you doing on the ground?
I'm resting. It's time to just take a break and resting. I've done enough.
I'm just gonna bonk her on the top of the head.
Oh, what was that for? And she gets up.
She's no longer under suggestion.
Wait, why isn't she under suggestion anymore?
Because I've just hit her.
If you or any of your companions deal damage to the target, the spell ends. Are you considered my companion in this situation? I don't think you are.
Fair enough. Oh,
I'm not sure. That would be Matt's call, but I wouldn't think so.
Probably not.
Then Pebble continues to rest.
so how are you feeling after your little encounter with Pebble?
She certainly has a lot more fight in her than I expected, but well enough, I suppose. Why? Are you looking for a second round?
Sure, it's good to get away from the books and the research every now and again.
Actually, as a side note, the spell would have ended anyway, because if the suggested activity can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when the subject finishes what it was asked to do.
Ah, yes.
And so she did.
True.
Well, she's still lying in the dirt.
All right, should we take proper spaces to square off then, friend?
If you wish.
All right.
Is Grix in the doghouse? Oh,
I'm on top of it. I want to be out of the way.
You know, it's actually really comfortable on the dirt, Grix.
And Rowan will put his sword away again, so it's just hand and shield. Say so. May the best man win.
Very well. Let's see what you're capable of.
Very well. Do you want to roll initiative to see who goes first?
Sure.
Oh, won't let me. Hold on.
Yeah, so clicking your token and do it.
Yes. I've never not done it. Good to know. That's what happens.
Sure, 17 or 3. You're on there twice.
He's only on there once for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just screwed up for me.
So is it Verlin or not horse going first?
Looks like Verlin.
Well, if that's the case, I shall unsheath my crimson-looking longsword, cause it to burst in flame.
Oh, another fancy blade here.
I'll take 5 damage. And I shall close the distance.
All right. I do not want to get hit by that. So, Rowan is going to cast as a reaction. Brings my AC to 23.
Interesting. I'll take my second attack now.
Oh, that one hits anyway. Fun.
Yeah, and that's all
Okay.
considered magical damage, and that 4 is fire, if it makes any difference.
None whatsoever. I have no resistances.
Would
So I take 14, which leaves me at 4.
Correct.
If Caden was here, he probably would have healed you, but
Yeah, no,
before
no,
the
I'm
fight,
I'm
but-
here.
Yeah. Would you have healed Rowan before he started the
Yeah,
fight?
before he started fighting Verlin,
Yeah.
to even the playing field.
To full or just to?
Verlin, would you have given me time to cast Prayer of Healing? It's like a 10-minute cast.
They were in there for a while talking about if they should come fight me.
Yeah, sure. So full just
Okay.
minus 14 hit points.
All right. So instead of being
Uh,
at 4, I get to be at 31.
Yeah, I need to figure out how many spell slots I need to use though.
Isn't Prayer of Healing just to keep it up for 10 minutes?
No, it's just a 2d8 plus spell mod heal. So it would have been that. So how many hit points did you need? I should start with.
Well, let's see. I was at 18 before I got hit, which means I needed 27.
Probably got away with a Cure Wounds level 2
I don't normally have Cure Wounds prepared. I don't know why it's prepared on my.
or Healing Word then.
Yeah, level 2. That's a good. No, it's probably better to just cast it at level 1.
So that would be 24.
Out of what, 27 you were missing? I'd probably just leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that sounds right. Okay, so I'll be at 28.
And then after seeing Verlin chunk him, I'll cast Bless on both of.
I mean, I've not even juiced myself to give myself more strength, so I'm just doing this with a +3 strength modifier.
Yeah, Verlin
All
becomes
right,
much more
friends.
dangerous as you hurt him. So
That was unpleasant. Rowan, are you done with your
Oh,
turn,
oh,
by
yeah.
the way?
Oh, you've
Okay.
also suffered the Brand of Castigation.
I
So anytime you
do.
hit me, you're going to take 3 points of psychic damage, or anyone within 5 feet of me.
Interesting. Whenever I deal damage to you. Okay. Fair enough. That was unpleasant, friend. Let's see if you try this. And Rowan will draw his blade, but then immediately lift his hand to his mouth and cover it. And cast. So you need to make a wisdom save.
You know, I cast Bless because you guys were swinging at each other, and I thought this would help it move faster.
Oh, it will.
But now you're gonna get the D4 to your Wisdom save also.
You gotta roll
Still
a 4.
not enough. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
take 12 psychic damage and immediately have to use your reaction to run as far away from me as you can.
That's fine. Also, you take 3 psychic damage.
I do. Finally, as you move out of my reach, I'm going to immediately use my reaction using my Warcaster feat.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So that is, well, it's a crit. So first, you're not hexed. You're not
I am gonna
cursed.
cancel the shit out of that crit. 'Cause-
Okay.
well,
So
we
just the
don't
first
need
numbers, right?
people- Yeah, we don't need people losing limbs here.
So in that case, 12 piercing damage, 6 thunder damage, and then because you are moving, you immediately trigger the extra 2d8 from moving.
Okay, go for it.
So another 7 thunder damage.
Perfect.
And I think I take another 3 psychic damage, right? Because I hit you again.
You did, correct.
Okay.
Pebble, I also would have healed you with the prayer of healing, by the way, if you were still injured at the end of that.
Then, with my movement, 10, 20, 30. It's your turn.
Oh, it's cute. You think
Is
you
he
can get
fleeing?
away? Well, that's not a correct representation.
It is not.
I think Matt said
away.
use every. I think Matt said
It
use
is
every square is
60
10
feet total.
Yeah, basically every square is 10 feet
Yeah.
for these purposes anyway.
So
Actually, you could probably 10, 20, 30, 40, 55 feet of movement would get you in range.
oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. So I will use my bonus action and amplify my blood curse of the marked. So I take 7 damage. So I get to roll extra Hemocraft die when I hit you, and my next attack has advantage.
Nice.
So, important question here. Does Bless end when you guys leave the cast range? Or is it
No.
once it's cast?
Nope. It's just on.
As long as they're in the cast range, then it's your concentration.
Here's when you're all going to enjoy. All of a sudden, you will see Verlin pull the blood around him and start to levitate in the air.
Ooh.
And the higher he gets, he will suddenly launch himself 60 feet towards his target.
Ha!
And I will use my Bloody Rise.
Which does every creature just straight up takes 2d10 necrotic. No saves or anything?
Oh, that's what it says.
Awesome. Just making sure I didn't miss it. Sweet.
And
So I immediately...
that was just my movement action.
Yep.
Ha ha.
It's not an actual action. That just counts as his movement.
Okay.
When Matt said he got a really good weapon, the more you hit him, the worse it gets for you.
So I will
Yeah.
be doing my Crimson Nightmare with the right damage, with the First Blood, which is an extra 1d10.
I can already say that if it's high enough to hit me, I'll be using a shield reaction.
Yeah, and this will be at advantage. So I'm rolling technically with this one. 3d10 plus a d6 if I hit you.
All right, a 22 is going to miss with my shield.
Awesome. I will just take my next attack at standard. But this will also contain a secondary Hemocraft die. Anyway. So let me just roll the extra Hemocraft die.
Oh, and that one's no, not a crit, but it does hit. Yeah, I am at 0. I'm down.
See, I know that Rob likes his. Like, I would never want to do anything that he's doing right now. There's so much crap that he has to keep track of. Like, as a player, I would never want to do the Blood Hunter with that weapon that I gave him, because man, all the math and all the
It sounds
modifiers
awesome
and
to
stuff.
me.
Yeah, I think you put it perfectly last week, Matt. You were like, you're either gonna love me or hate me because of this thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
read the last ability, the Burning Blood. I get 10-foot range and an extra d10.
Yeah,
So that
I dropped.
it's the trade-off, right? So like you put yourself near death, and then you can just decimate people. But if you're fighting something big, you could just die instantly.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I dropped to 0. I'm unconscious.
Caden, it seems he's taking a nap. Would you like to deal with him?
Yeah, you went a little rough there.
You did it. You did it.
That was some fancy
you-
shit.
Can I fly too?
We can certainly try. Hold on. I will attempt to bloody rise with Pebble up.
That automatically maxes out on the die, so you heal for 9.
I'm sorry, I think you take damage when we
Whoa.
land.
Whew.
That's okay.
You take
Ooh.
13 necrotic damage.
Wow.
You did fly
Ah.
up in the air with a big spout of blood everywhere, so that's a thing.
That was amazing. You need
Gotta
to do
say,
that
that's a
in
new trick.
actual You need to do it in actual battle. Take me with you up in the air and shoot me towards the enemy, huh?
Fastball special.
Maybe, but this is it takes a lot out of me to do this.
Um,
I've got to say, that's pretty impressive, folks.
Well, you're not too bad yourself, but I think you underestimated me a little bit.
Hey, I'll be honest, I didn't think you were going to be able to catch back up. I was planning to just deal with you slowly. Quite impressive.
is Pebble currently covered in blood?
I think the whole area it probably looks like a terrible, terrible thing has occurred here with blood everywhere.
That
Rowan's
seems
going to look himself
scary,
up
where-
and down at all the blood, put the sword away, and just start prestidigitating the blood off of him.
Yeah, I got to cast it a few times, I would think.
Yes. It only does like a foot cube at a time, so lots of them.
Well, if it
Pebble.
makes you feel any better, I can only do those abilities when I get hurt. So the worse I am, the more I can. Well, you saw.
Mm.
Of course, if you
So
look at
that-
if you look at the final thing, the burning blood, like you actually siphon all the blood around, so you could clean it up by doing that.
Yeah, that is, that's something, all right. Be honest, I've never seen someone fight quite that way. Still, good to know you're on my side.
Well, the only one left now is Grix.
Grix is kind of just up on top of the doghouse. He just whatever got on him, he precipitated it off, and he just
So, yeah.
he kind of looks around and he just goes, where did you train for arcane abilities?
Oh, well, that's a trade secret. And Rowan tapped the side of his nose with the finger.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I recognize any of it?
I'd allow it.
Go for it.
You crit succeeded. It's you saw definitely bardic magic and also warlock magic.
He kind of looks at you and he just not like how I had to. I assume mine was mostly from books.
Mine magic just happens.
I'll be honest, a lot of mine came from study, but you'd be right, not all of it. Anyway, so, what's the plan now, folks?
Well,
grab a drink.
I have some more research to take care of.
I was thinking, perhaps we maybe want to head off to follow up with Quinn, see what's going on with him and Ada to the east. But maybe a few days first. There might be some useful spells I can learn if I get to go back to the school for a bit of time.
It's you folks' shindig. I'm just here. If you need days, take days. Don't do it on my account, though. Give me an hour or so, I'll be good to go.
Do we even know where Quinn went?
Yes.
Does Nick?
I can't remember the name of the place. What is it, like Eastgate or something like that, Matt?
I will move everybody over to that map real quick.
Wasn't it? I thought it was said that any trouble he would be in is trouble we can't help with. Eastkeep.
He went Eastkeep. Yep. So essentially, what it was is that Ada ran into some trouble at Eastkeep, and Quinn went to try and bail her out of whatever trouble. Does anybody have sending? You can ask him.
I do not.
Not
Well,
I.
you could have it tomorrow.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Is that a cleric spell?
Mhm.
Shit.
Um,
I only put a handful on my list. So, oh, it is on there.
Yeah, when you add all the spells, because I did that with my paladin. Like Roll20 always acts like a jerk when you have that many spells, even if on your
Yeah,
character.
it's too much shit. So, I mean, basically, I put down all the ones that I thought might be relevant at some point.
But yeah, you still have them, whether on your character sheet or not. You still have them, so you just have to
Yeah. Remember
take the time to.
I don't think we had any other job offers. I mean, there was still the strange being in the forest at the like little lake or whatever.
Maybe we could always go investigate that.
There were a couple rumors. I mean, there's also the lights on the off the coast.
Then you
So-
found out about that at the masquerade party, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, some of the rumors I have: faceless men scaring children, random lights out at sea, giants moving to the lower foothills of the Golden Highlands, forest paths of the Regal Grove have grown very dangerous, and stuff about the King of Tredivoria that's kind of seems irrelevant to us at the moment.
And you guys have a bar now too that you can always go back to search for rumors and such as well.
A
Well,
quest for a stiff drink sounds like a good time to me.
so Grix will kind of look around and just so maybe let's take let's take the rest of today to see if we could hear any other rumors of work and whatnot. I'm gonna go to the school if you guys don't mind and see if I could find anything helpful.
Sure, sounds like a plan.
Give me a second here. Let's see. Yeah, if I'm gonna set some stuff up, so if anybody needs to take a break, go to the bathroom, get a drink, feel free to do so.
Sure, quick, step out. I'll be right back.
Only thing that could beat Pebble is a nicely worded question.
Yep.
Well, I mean, remember, Rob was charmed a number of times. You take the big, strong folks and you charm them, and then they're not so helpful or useful anymore.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to throw a succubus at me in this game.
Mm-hmm. I'm nothing if not consistent. I'll just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Well, it keeps
Either-
working.
It's easier than trying to come up with something new, right?
Hey, the classics, old but good.
I told you guys I got that puppy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ye-
friggin'.
yeah.
He was driving me nuts yesterday. Right now, he's being a good boy though.
Kind of dog is it?
The black lab.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, he. I thought he was having a teething problem, but I think it's more of a like demanding attention thing, because he'll like start chewing something for a minute, and then if I don't stop him, he'll go and he'll start biting something else for a minute, and he'll just keep biting things until I do something. Like yesterday, I found him chewing the wall. I'm like, are you serious?
My brother just got a new puppy. I can't really remember what kind it is. It's half some kind of I don't even freaking know. But it is adorable.
I did get my condo.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh yeah, are
And
you in
every-
it now or?
Hey.
No,
You move in.
the closing is July 31st. So
Oh, that is a cute pup.
Hmm.
I can't remember what it is. It's half Great Pyrenees and half some kind of crazy shepherd or something like that. And then his
Okay.
other dog is, I think, half pointer, half lab, I think, but I'm not sure.
What is on the stove or the workbench?
Which one?
Oh, that's Grix's owl.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that.
All right, so Grix, you were not. Everybody else was going to go to the bar, and Grix was going to go to the school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was going over my new ingredients for research.
I'm going to the bar. Pebble, are you joining us? Are you gonna
Yeah.
research with Ver-
No, I don't want to read books and stuff. I want to go to a bar, and I'm going to. There's only two of you here. I'm going to drink something too.
And I don't know who the bartender is. I just put a token in there because Moira's gone. So
Yeah.
there's like
New
and-
employee.
yeah, new employee. Just a regular person, and then just some random. I didn't put tokens in there, but we'll assume that there are other patrons in there as well.
Okay. I'll go up to the bar and order a drink for myself, Pebble, and Ro.
And as members of the guild who own this bar, you actually do not have to pay. So
Nice.
I haven't actually drank in much before.
I thought I saw you have a drink before.
Like once. This time it's free, so I can have more than one. And also,
Uh,
nobody's watching except for you. And him.
Maybe you should start with just a couple. See how those go over.
Well, I didn't really like the taste of the first one, but I know that when you drink a bunch of them, you can start feeling super good, which might be interesting to try.
You didn't like the taste. Well, there's an easy fix for that. And Rowan will look to, who is the bartender? I'm sorry, I missed the transition.
yeah, currently just some random chick because the person that was the bartender was a guild member that's not there. So I just put a token in there and was like, hey, her name is Joyce, I guess.
Okay. Rowan's just going to look to the bartender and be like, whatever the fruitiest thing you have on tap.
Yeah, and it's like the fruitiest thing I have is probably like a screwdriver, so it's like orange juice and vodka, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Can I add sugar to it?
If you like, they could even put it on the rim of the glass, like a
She gets
Salt.
she gets so excited by that. She starts just licking the rim of the glass before chugging.
because you can make a margarita with sugar. It's actually I actually like that better than salt. So
Tequila, I would rather fist fight someone than drink tequila. I hate it so much.
yeah, it's not my particular favorite. Although my least favorite alcohol is actually vodka.
If
I'm
it
a
was for
whiskey kinda
tequila,
guy.
I'd do it. Yeah, yes, I will drink whiskey or bourbon.
Yeah, I want some Crown Royal. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys don't hear a whole lot of rumors. However, as you guys are drinking, and we'll assume that you guys had a few drinks and you've been there for a few hours, and as you're sitting there, Pebble, you've got a mug in your hand now. Maybe they gave you some ale to go along with your fruitier drinks, and you notice. And you're probably, I wouldn't say that any of you at this point are like, super drunk, but you're all probably buzzed and feeling pretty good. And Pebble, as you're sitting there and you guys are chatting or whatever, the mug that's in your hand, you swear that it like sneezes and your hand kind of shakes into like the the contents of the mug kind of spill all over the bar top, and as you look down, you can see that the rim of the mug is moving like a mouth, and all of you actually hear this. The mug says, "Ah, yes. Greetings, regular folk of the privateer profession. I am Tristan Harper. How do you do? No, actually, don't answer that. I don't care. Do you like gold? Of course you do. Your kind always likes gold. Well, it just so happens that I have a sturdy payment for a crew such as yourselves. If you look out the window to the west," he doesn't realize the fact that there actually are no windows in this place, but says, "If you look out the window to the west, you'll see Ivy Mansion, a magnificent structure, I know. I have recently inherited the majority of the manor after my great uncle died, and somehow. Anyways, it's full of nasty little annoyances that I simply do not have the time or energy to deal with. If you can clear out the nuisances that my uncle left behind, let's say 300 gold pieces for each of you. Oh, and a pet bird." And then it stops talking.
I will
Pebble
turn to
pushes
the
the cup
bartender.
off.
Everyone looks at the bartender.
What did
And-
you put in these drinks?
Yeah, and the
Does
bartender
that always do that, or have I had too much?
and the bartender is just like, "I don't know what that was."
Pebble definitely just pushes the cup off the bar.
Give me a moment, ladies and gentlemen. And Rowan will take the time to ritual cast Detect Magic to
Am
see if the
I-
cup is still magic.
Is this what drinking? Is this what drunk feels like?
Oh no, dear. No, this is a whole different spectrum of fun.
I don't. That
Yeah,
was
things-
weird though.
You have to normally drink a lot more before things start talking.
Where's the west window?
I
There
look
is-
around.
There is no window. There's only a
There-
door to this place. There's no windows in here.
I'll go to the door and look out towards the west. Do I see what was it? Ivy Manor? Or
Yeah. You do see that off to the west there is there are some houses, but you don't specifically know if if one of the ones that you're looking at is Ivy Manor.
let's go run this by Nyx.
My
Um,
f- oh,
yeah, if you cast Detect Magic, the mug does appear to be magical.
the mug itself is magical.
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, it appears it might do that again. Do you mind if I hang on to this?
Can I hang on to it?
Yes,
I'm
please take it
certain you
away.
can.
I don't know what that was. Please.
Of course. And Rowan will put a couple silver pieces on the table to replace it, of course. Wouldn't want to take it for nothing.
We own the place.
Ah, yes. Well,
She takes the money and then puts it. She's already taken it and putting it in
That's
her
fine.
pouch.
in any case, my dear new acquaintance, are you genuinely considering following the advice of a mug?
No, I'm gonna take it to Grix. He's no magic stuff. He's super smart.
Yeah, I mean that's why. And I mean I'm not gonna jump just because a mug asked me to do something. I'd rather go through Grix and get an official contract.
Lady, do you know how to make me run fast?
And she just looks at you, kind of like, no.
She turns
Where's it?
to, she turns to Rowan. Do you know how to make me run fast?
I'm afraid that's outside my realm of expertise, dear.
Ah, useless. And she just runs.
Just wait for the bartender to just pour a cup of coffee.
Very well. Back to see our other small friend.
Well, you ain't gonna see him for a while, depending on what he could find at the school.
All right, so I'll just move you guys back to the hall.
Oh, if Pebble knows that Grix has gone to the school, she will attempt to run to the school.
Nothing can go wrong there.
So you do have to have permission to, get into the school. So you
She
get
just
the-
screams Grix.
I mean, they would probably know who I am. Would someone come and tell me there's a gnome outside screaming?
They would probably ask if specifically more than just Grix. Like, does can Pebble say his whole name? Does she know it?
Grix! It's a longer name than Grix. He introduced me to him when they first met, and then after that, he hasn't said his full name. He's got an owl named Archie. Just tell him the cup talk to me.
They go in and ask around, and eventually they probably would get your attention, Grix, and say that there's a crazy gnome outside asking for you. A crazy drunk gnome asking for you.
Did I know they were going to the tavern?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just say send her in.
So they will let her in, but they're escorting her in.
Mm-hmm. And Grix is probably just sitting at a big table in a library that is far too big for him to be at. So he kind of just has a bunch of books out, and instead of like walking around the table, he is just standing on top of it, walking around book to book.
Grix, they took forever to make you find me to you. Bring me to you. This cup talked to me in the thing. It said that there was a window to the west, but there's no window to the west. And she's just screaming.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of put my finger up to my lips, like shh, shh. Come on, come here. I'll take a look.
I threw it off the table. She screams.
Can I roll an Arcana check?
Yep.
It told us stuff. Also, I forget your name. But it seems I didn't need to know your name to get in here because they found you anyway.
He absentmindedly takes a little piece of paper and just writes down Rick's mail Sparkbolt and just hands it to you and just says, just keep it somewhere safe in case you need it again.
She puts it in her pocket.
If I can't figure out what it is from Arcana, I will do a ritual cast of Identify. Although, actually, no, I'd probably do that anyway, just because I would want to be sure.
Okay.
So it'll take a couple of minutes, but I will cast Identify ritually and see if I can find out if it is a spell on the cup or the cup itself.
So it's it's sort of a complicated set of magic. It's there appear to be some runes on there. Best you could tell, as far as it's speaking, somebody probably cast magic mouth on it. And then it appears to be there appear to be runes on the inside of it where you get the idea that if you were to drink something specific out of the cup, that it would activate the runes, and you would guess. I mean, in 17 Arcana, the runes seem familiar. They look like teleportation runes, so that you get the idea that if you were to drink something out of this cup that activated the runes, you would be teleported somewhere else.
Right. Well,
also, Pebble, do a. I guess it could be history, either history or intelligence.
If she's doing history, can I help her and give her
Nope.
advantage? Okay, shit.
Because this is a recent history check, like at the bar. I'm testing her memory,
Okay,
basically.
I gotcha.
So
Oh,
I will
shit.
say, yeah, I will say that you actually remember that the person that introduced themselves as Tristan Harper and Grix, you know who that is.
Well, I'll look.
He was
Okay.
a student at the college as well. I would say that you were acquaintances. You probably weren't friends, but you knew him and you like had conversations and stuff with him before, so you would know that he is a wizard as well.
So it's something I knew he would be capable of too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look down at. Well, probably not even down. I'll just look over at Pebble and I'll just. Well, what were you drinking out of this?
Ale.
Right. Well, thankfully it was ale because if it was something else, you might have and he just kind of like makes a motion with his hands, like his hands opening up his fingers, and he goes, "You might have just poofed and went somewhere else."
Exploded? Like in
No,
like dead?
no, like this, and I'll just cast Misty Step to go behind her.
She just stares ahead to where he was, kind of like eyes wide.
Poke her on the back.
You better not tell me there's a window to the west too.
Well, I think I don't think it was that, but I do know the person who most likely cast the spell. He used to be a student here as well. I mean, well, do I know? Did his family like have money to offer people this much money to do something for him?
You would know enough. You were close enough to him to know that like he himself was not particularly wealthy, but you remember that he used to always talk about his uh his uncle being rich, and the uncle is the one that he's claiming had left him this Ivy Manor, but is under as asking you to go out and not you specifically, but asking adventurers to go out and clear out the nuisances as he.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'll look and I'll say, and he did used to speak of the an uncle that had money, so it's quite possible that it is legitimate, but it's probably something we should check out before we just go.
Is he here? We can ask him about the window to the west.
No, he wouldn't be here anymore.
Oh.
But
Yeah, he graduated about the same time that you did, but you, as far as you know, he is not in Rivengard because no one's seen him at the school or anything like that recently.
So yeah, I was just so not here, but perhaps I could find a way to get in touch with him. I've been looking through these books to see if I could find some helpful spells. There are some that would be very beneficial, but I haven't quite found them yet.
She just pats him.
So if I give you this cup back, you just make sure you will not drink anything else out of it, because again, and he'll just go poof.
You know, I'm sort of curious about what drink needs to be in here for me to drink it and go somewhere else.
Maybe. There's more research I must have to do on this. Do you mind if I hold on to it for a little bit?
Okay. You can hold on to it. As long as you tell me which liquid makes the the poof, and also where the west window is.
Once I figure it out, and if it is necessary, you will be the one who can drink it.
Okay. I'm so excited.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm almost done here. I'll be back to the house in a few hours.
Okay. Can you make me run fast?
I I can't make you fast, but I can make you take bigger steps, and I'll cast Enlarge on her.
She gets so excited and just runs.
It only lasts a minute.
She runs.
Person-sized gnome.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
So Matt, I don't know what spells I can find. There are a few I had in mind, but completely up to you what I can find.
Do you have the money?
I have 150 gold left worth of scribing material, so I can do one third level spell or different spells.
Is there a third level spell that you're looking for?
I was either looking for fly, haste, or slow. I would put preference on fly out of everything else.
Roll a d4.
All right.
You get haste.
Okay. Right. So that will be all of that. And that'll take me it's 2 hours per spell level. So another 6 hours, and then I would go back to the house.
Okay.
And now I have 20 gold to my name.
The lot of the wizard.
But yeah, so other than that, that would just be what I did for the day. I would study and did he have like any family that also went to the school, or was there any like teachers he was close with or something like that?
He's based on even the message that he left in the cup. He was
Kind of
not
like a pompous asshole.
Yeah, he wasn't particularly liked by people. He always had a very high opinion of himself, and it was not. And I mean, you would know that. I mean, he was talented. He was a talented wizard. I mean, he wasn't a failure or anything like that. But he had no personal skills. People did find him to be arrogant, and he was arrogant beyond his ability. So he was decent. He was an okay wizard, but he believed himself to be much greater than he actually was.
Okay.
But yeah, he didn't have a whole lot of friends, and so that's why I would say that you wouldn't even consider him a friend, more of just an acquaintance. And I would say that you didn't necessarily dislike him. He would never struck you as like a bad person. He was just more obnoxious than anything.
Okay. So I was thinking maybe like because wizards can't get spending. I didn't know if I could find someone to send a spell to him, but in that case, once I am done, I will just head back to the house.
Okay. Verlin, was there anything that you were specifically doing with your?
Yeah. So primarily, I was just taking notes on the eyes, the bark, the blood, like including the stuff Grix gave me, and looking into certain effects from them.
So are you still rolling for your discovery on your?
See, I haven't rolled on it for a while because I've not put any more gold towards it because it's expensive.
Right. I would say then with the studying that you're doing, the next 2 rolls that you do make, you can make with advantage.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm basically just rolling a d20 because I don't have a plus in my wisdom.
Yeah. So whenever you decide that you want to, invest in it again, just mark it somewhere. The next 2 that you make will be an advantage. All right. So I assume Caden and Rowan are also returning to the guild hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I'm assuming we couldn't get into the library school.
Well, I mean, if you chose to, well, now that you're saying that, you probably would have had an easier time than the screaming drunken gnome.
Yeah, you could always just stand outside screaming my name until I come get you.
I mean, I probably gone back to the guild hall. I figured things would have worked out,
Yeah.
Pebbles
Plus,
knows her way home.
I don't even know if Rowan knows the way to the school, and he was probably more inclined to follow Caden than Pebbles.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Although Pebble knows where she's going most of the time. Barbarians usually don't get lost. Usually, when they're in the wilderness. I think that's an Outlander skill, though, not a Barbarian skill.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are all back to the guild hall, and you can move wherever you think you might be in the hall.
Well, if we all got back, I would ask everyone to meet up in like some common area. So like maybe up in this room up here.
Yeah, so that would probably be
Sounds good.
the personal meeting room for the guild hall. You obviously have the room here in the center where you would have like big meetings, more public meetings. It's funny because there is sort of like I mean, for lack of a better term, there's kind of a throne there where Quinn would probably sit. However, I would say he's not here, but for future reference, what I would see, given his background, I would say that Quinn would probably use that as more of a small little stage to perform. So whether it be plays or whether it be music or whatever, Quinn is definitely not the kind of guy that would sit on a throne and lord over everybody.
Once we're all sitting here,
Berlin's out on the deck drinking tea.
Yep. I'm gonna kind of look around and notice Verlin's not here, and I'm gonna just point at Pebble and I'm gonna say, "You want to be fast? Go find Verlin."
Yeah.
And I will cast haste on her, and I'll just say, "This is one of the new ones."
She
I learned."
runs. She's gone.
I also like, for whatever reason, there is a book closet here. There's just a little door inside.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like the other side is like a bath. There's like a toilet. And
That's where we keep the forbidden books.
Yes.
Berlin! A cup talked to me, and then I went and got Grix, and then he came and he's going to tell us all about this cup. I don't know where the cup went, but then he came and told us about the window. Wait, but not the cup. He didn't come and tell us about the window. The cup told us about the window, and then there was a tower.
Could you repeat
With
that?
Pebbles gone. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm like in character. Could you repeat that?
I don't know.
Come on then.
They're over here. She just runs.
For the few seconds that Pebbles is gone, Rowan's just going to look at the other two in the room and be like, is she always like that?
Pretty much.
As long as we've known her.
I assume she is standing on the table now.
All right.
Yep.
Grix will pull out the cup and put it on the table and just, I can say with a fair amount of certainty that the voice came from a spell left by a wizard, and I believe that the wizard is someone who did go to school with me. I do know that his uncle was, according to him, very rich. So it does make sense that he may have inherited something that he is able to pay us. But other than that, I am not very sure. And there was something quite troubling to me. If the correct type of liquid was in this mug, Pebble may have disappeared and appeared somewhere that we cannot know unless we were to see where it went.
So, do you think that the intents were actually nefarious and that this is just a backup to try to lead us into a trap?
I don't think so. The person, he wasn't very he didn't have many friends. He was somewhat of a he was a bit too cocky for most people to take a liking to. But I don't recall anything bad or evil that he did, unless he has changed drastically since leaving school. But it's just troubling that it could have brought someone somewhere without them knowing that they were agreeing to it.
With all due respect to your former colleague, I can't say I'm impressed by his level of competence if he created such a device that only works with a single type of liquid and then did not inform whoever he was giving it to what that liquid would be.
Well, he was rather talented, but it may be something that he just look didn't deem fit enough to give someone the exact liquid, or it could have been to prevent people from doing it accidentally. Perhaps he put a liquid in there but that most people normally would not want to drink.
Do we know what that liquid is?
I drank ale. It was gross. I
I
like the
don't-
orange one better.
I don't think there would be a way for me to. Well, actually, Matt, before I say it, is there a way for me to figure it out, or would it just be kind of like test and see what happens?
You could probably do another Arcana check. Also, as a side note, did I tell you guys 350 was a piece?
I said 3.
Remember-
3.
Three. Okay, I wasn't sure if I said 3 or 350. Okay,
Okay, Arcana
Wait,
check.
you said 500.
right. Yeah, just I always like mess up on the. I tell you guys what I'm gonna give you.
I
and
heard 300p.
So somebody write that down because I always forget it.
300 platinum, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
300.
Glad I'm not the
Electrum.
only one who heard it.
The most useless thing ever, Electrum. We'll use that, right?
Well, since I'm going to be doing this again, I'll look to Verlin and just say, well, do you have you? And I'll just kind of have a back and forth with him to see if he's ever heard of anything like this. You know.
Yeah, he can assist if you want to do like an advantage
Yeah.
because he's familiar with runes.
Yes.
Well, and I also think he does have Arcana.
I do, yes. But if I hand me the cup, I can look it over and.
Oh yeah, he'll walk right across the table and put it down in front of you and just like kind of sit cross-legged in front of you and just have like a very silly conversation about the possibilities.
I like how the gnomes are on the table. and,
I mean, I'm still looking up to Verlin while he's sitting.
yeah,
Yeah.
24.
High level.
Caden's falling asleep on the couch.
How tall is Rowan? Like,
About average for a human.
So like 5'11", 6 foot.
Yeah, maybe a tiny bit shorter than that, but yeah, somewhere in that range. I don't know. I made him up like 4
Like-
hours ago.
All right.
Still working on it.
So I would say I think that given his background, Verlin would have a pretty strong understanding of runes in particular because he's not necessarily a magical user, but so his knowledge on magic would come more from sort of like, for lack of a better term, like the witchers. They have witcher signs and stuff. So that sort of like etchings and stuff that you would put onto weapons to make them stronger via runes would be kind of in his wheelhouse. And Berlin would notice that there is runes that are actually alluding to the power of water. So your guess would be that you probably just would drink water out of it.
and then my only other question would be, can I tell if it is a single person transportation or is it like, an area?
I mean, best you can tell. I mean, it would simply just be it's a teleportation spell. It's hard to say where it would take you.
Is
yeah,
concerned about the where as much as the would it take just the person who drinks or would it take
Yeah,
us?
I mean, it would be just the person who drinks it. So if you all wanted to go, you would all have to drink from it separately.
So it gets left
See-
behind.
Okay, yeah,
by
that's
whoever
I was picturing it
teleports.
going with us.
No, it would not. the cup would basically fall to the ground as the person was whisked away.
Then I will kind of look over at Verlin and just kind of, as he points out the weird or the water markings, I'll just, I did not even notice that before. Pebble, good thing you didn't drink water.
No, I drank ale out of it. Wait. Does that mean if I put water in there, I'll be able to drink it and go poof?
Well, once we all decide if that's what we want to do, I did say you could go first.
Okay.
And he'll kind of just move back a little bit and look around to everyone and just well I don't know what we can do. I haven't heard from or of him in quite a while. I don't believe he's still in Rivengard, so I don't even know how we would be paid, but it's up to everyone else.
Well, I wouldn't have any issues with the job. I'd say we're getting into late evening. Maybe wouldn't be the best time to be teleporting to an unknown location, correct?
Oh, I would much rather wait until morning. A few of you have already used some abilities today. We might need to rest and relax for the evening first.
That sounds like a great idea. Plus, it'll give Nyx time to fill out a contract for. What was his name again?
Wait. Why would we tell him?
Isn't this a guild job?
This
Well-
is a us job.
Quinn did say that they will be actively seeking jobs for us, but any that we found on our own were our own.
10% may not be much, but it's not nothing.
I want to keep all my money.
And of course, the wizard's like, "No, I want all the money."
Yeah. Yeah, Greg's kind of like pats on his coin purse, and he's just I'm running quite low after these new spells, and I'm always hoping to learn more.
I mean, it seems like they were attempting to approach the guild to resolve their issue. No.
No, because they told us to look out a window and they haven't told us where the window is.
Pebble,
I
they
would
said to the
agree with
left.
you. I would agree with you, Caden, but there's no knowing if that cup was just left at the tavern, or if it was just found and brought there or whatnot. There's no way of knowing if someone would have done it that way to try to contract the guild.
And the message itself, just as a FYI, the message itself didn't specifically mention Fortuna's favor. It just said regular folk of the privateer profession. So basically just mercenaries. But they didn't specifically say, at least in so many words, it was at the former guild hall of Fortuna's favor, but
Okay, well, you guys can deal with the semantics. I'm gonna go to bed. Let me know when you decide.
Grix will kind of look over to Verlin and Rowan and just, well, what do you two think?
Rowan will also look at Verlin and say, I'm still the newest one here. This is up to your decision as far as I'm concerned, folks.
Well, as long as we're all in agreement, this is something we wish to pursue. I don't see any issues with it, but again, it's getting relatively late. We should hold off till morning.
I'd be lying if I said I was entirely comfortable with following quests from a cup. But If you are all going, I'm with you.
Let's do it.
But
Yeah,
not
I-
now.
I
I'm
think
going
I still
to.
have some blood to wash out of my hair.
I'm gonna scoop up the cup and look at Pebble, and then hand it to Verlin and just say, "This stays with you until tomorrow. No one can drink from it."
Agreed, I can put it somewhere where she can't find it.
Pebble just pouts.
That's not going to help.
Pebble pouts harder.
Still not going to work as he walks out the room.
Roll to pout.
Roll to pout.
Grix is gonna kind of look at Pebble and just
Worst pout.
I performance, good choice.
Grix is gonna look over at Pebble and just kind of how have you been feeling? Any sicknesses? Anything like that?
I feel kind of like throwing up now. And I also feel like sleepy. And everything's kind of muddled.
Yes. You drank a bit too much, but I mean, other than that, the times that you haven't drank any ale or wine.
No. I feel normal.
I kind of look at her and I say, well, stand up, please.
She stands up.
And
Still on the table.
he's gonna conduct like a series of like not test, but like just looking her up and down and like kind of taking note and stuff because he is worried about the possibilities of chaotic magic on her.
Am I sick?
Well,
I don't feel sick.
No, I don't think so. But it's just with your sort of magic, sometimes it can lead to sickness with the magic that's not controllable.
I guess I can tell you when I get sick. And then you can stop asking me.
That would probably be much easier.
Yeah, I tell you this truth all the time.
Oh no, you don't. But for this, you should.
And so Rowan, as for a little bit of context, within this world, the Dragonborn, the race of Dragonborn, are extremely rare, and they are, because of their dragon blood and the magic inherent within them, they suffer strange illnesses and things like that. And wild magic, though not exactly the same thing, wild magic actually can be gained because of latent dragon blood, but also it can be whether you can get it by being touched by other planes of existence and things like that. So wild magic in and of itself can be dangerous. So that's kind of what Grix is alluding to. But yeah, just as the context in our world, no one here would have ever seen a Dragonborn.
Right.
There is an island to the north that was actually on the world map where the majority of them reside. They purposely kind of outcast themselves because people view them with suspicion and fear. There's nothing like inherently evil, about them, but they just prefer to stay to themselves because it's not worth the hassle of having to deal with everybody looking at them like they're, lepers or whatever.
Right. Okay.
And just afterwards, to change the mood a little bit, I'm gonna look at Pebble and I'm gonna say, did you ever show Rowan what you can do when you find magic?
Well, no, I haven't.
And I'm gonna tap her again and give her haste, and I'll say, you should go show him.
Rowan, guess what?
Huh?
Guess
What?
what? Guess what?
What, little one?
If I do if I... And she glows in the presence of magic now.
Various different
Detect
colors based on the type of magic that it is.
Hmm.
She's a walking detect magic spell.
That's interesting. Why are you glowing exactly?
Because there's magic close, and I glow when there's magic close.
As soon as you say that, Rowan's one eye goes a little wide and he straightens back up and shifts his sword belt around a little bit behind him. I see. Well, it's quite impressive, dear.
So what magic would Pebble be glowing as if you're so hidden about it? Hmm?
Oh, goodness, I have to think
here,
about this.
I will tell you. This. I'll put it in Discord. This is what we have figured out so far. I think we figured everything out. Blood magic being the magic that Verlin uses.
Yeah, let me see. The issue is I need to figure out which school of magic this applies to. Because it's weird. I would imagine the closest would be... I would guess... I mean... Red is probably there. Red would probably be the predominant one. There's a lot of arguments. I would have to research more to be sure which.
Well, I mean, when we kind of don't know what magic it is, we kind of just say she strobe lights it like a disco ball.
Oh, yeah. Friggin' strobe light, then.
Also, actually, I don't think because you mentioned your one eye, I don't think you actually described your character to everybody.
Yes, I haven't. So I don't have a lot to work on because of. I mean, I made him today.
4 hours old.
But
He's just a baby.
Just a wee little one. Pretty much the only defining characteristics I have for sure is human, male, relatively like charming, good-looking guy. In terms of dividing, distinguishing visual features. The one thing that I'm absolutely set on already is he definitely has an eye patch over his right eye. Otherwise, yeah, I'm still working on it. I gotta find a picture that works.
Well, to be fair, as soon as you said an obsidian blade, I was like, okay, she's gonna have necromancy.
And poor depth perception
Yes.
with one eye.
Oh, I don't know if it would have made any difference, but I forgot to mention that for the second campaign in a row, I have a disfiguring scar on my face.
Hey.
Yeah, that was just because of the crit table. So
But as an upgrade from last one, you still do have 2 hands.
Yes, luckily I am not a wizard with one hand.
A blade singer with one hand.
That's
Yeah.
rough. Rowan doesn't have any like visual scarring, but he would have just the eye patch there. Oh geez, yeah, looking at this table, you could make arguments for orange, for green, for red, for yellow. Like it's all over the place. I'll have to look into it a little more and get back to you.
As long as it's not white.
I don't think it's white. I'm assuming blood magic is specifically your type of magic that no one else can do.
No, just magic from blood.
Oh, white's a possibility then.
Yeah, I mean within it's never come up, but there is a it's not official, but I would accept there are supplements where I think it's mainly based on Dragon Age, but there are supplements for 5e for like actual blood magic, like using blood to cast spells and everything. So if anybody was interested in doing that, I would be potentially open to it. But one of the other things that as far as the school that is here in Rivengard that Grix went to, there are similar to Harry Potter. There's knowledge in books that are sealed away that you can't get access to. And blood magic would be one of those things. Additionally, like I have classified the wish spell as being one of those things, because again, like to my mind, that's probably like the most dangerous spell in the game.
Easily.
So that kind of stuff would be very difficult to go and learn, because it's hidden away. And there is, it's in the lore tab, but there's the Council of Eight, and it is a group of representing each of the different so divination, enchantment, so all the different magical class,
Except for blood magic.
except for blood magic. There isn't one there, but so they're sort of the ruling body of the arcane, and some of the discussions that they'd had with one of the guy, in fact, who gave the guild this guild hall. He believes that they are purposely hiding information relating to prophecies and spells that could be used to assist in stopping the apocalypse, basically. For what reason, he doesn't know, and neither does anybody here. But,
So what I'm hearing is our boss may be a conspiracy theorist.
well, he's not really the boss. He's just a guy he's actually the magistrate of one of the districts.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah. Sorry. So this is a different. This is a man named Lord Summers. Quinn is the guild leader. He's just kind of a doofus. He's actually not. They did discover that he's actually very, very smart, and the doofus is kind of an act. But that's just more things to unravel later on. But yeah, the Council of Eight is Grix would be familiar with them. They are not exactly viewed in the best light by some. The common folks seem to like them, but they do have some shadiness to them, at least some of them.
Fair enough. Okay, so yeah, like strobing all over the place for sure. And why don't you go run back to Grix? I'm sure he'd like to see this as well.
I already showed him.
Oh, very impressive. What did he have to say about it?
He likes it. He wrote down all what the colors mean. I don't remember what the colors mean.
Very interesting indeed. Well, as I said before, if you don't mind, I think I've got a bit of... Oh, what is his name? Verton? Verlin, thank you. Verlin's spellcasting stuck in my hair still, so I'm going to go take care of that.
Bye.
Have a wonderful evening.
Grix.
I
glowed different colors around him.
Maybe there was just more than one magical item around it, and that's why it made you glow differently.
He's got magic stuff on him.
I would. We all do. So it's probably going to be quite beneficial to us if we get into a situation where he needs to help.
Oh, that's true. That means he's good at what he does then, yeah? Well, I mean, I guess... How did he beat me anyway? I kind of just felt sleepy, and then I was like, okay, it's okay that he beat me, but I don't think I would actually think that. That seems like a weird thought to think.
Yeah, no, he used a bit of magic to and Grix kind of looks, and he like, I'll try to roll this to see if I can make it sound believable. Nope. Grix is gonna kind of be like, well, I think he might have been scared and just decided to try to use magic to make
you crit
stop.
failed and still won.
But it's slightly more convincing than it would have been otherwise, because I mean, you know.
If he didn't use magic, I would have won.
Well, I do agree. So maybe next time that if you see him going to use some of the magic, just prepare yourself better.
Can I make him stop using magic?
Well, maybe that'll be something you could learn eventually. I can somewhat do that. So how about this? If you're ever to fight him again for practice, he can get a partner, and I'll team up with you.
Okay, except Verlin can be on our team too. Because he can do the flying blood thing, and that was fun.
Pretty soon I will probably be able to make you fly myself.
With blood?
No, just with magic.
She looks kind of disappointed.
You can cut your finger and fly, and it will be with blood.
See, out of context, that's a weird conversation again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that works. It won't be as bloody because the finger prick is just a little bit of blood.
Well, then
Do it better. Cut off your arm.
Then not against any of us, but if we ever find any bad people again, you could fly with their head.
Like, yeah, I can chop off their head and then fly around, and then the blood will go everywhere like it did today.
Exactly.
Good idea. I don't feel so good now. I think I'm really tired. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya. And Grix is gonna just go upstairs to bed and do some reading, do some drawing, and then go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's everyone in bed then, right? Except for, I mean,
No, I think Caden went earlier,
yeah, Caden went earlier, but
and I think Verlin is not going to sleep. He's just doing Verlin things.
No, I'll go
Okay,
up to
as-
bed. Can I have a look at the second floor? I didn't get to see it earlier.
I was just looking too. Once Caden can cast level 7 spells, he could cast regenerate, which I do believe would be able to remove the disfiguring scar on your face, Verlin. It doesn't specifically say that, but if it can regrow limbs, I feel like it can probably get rid of the scar.
So no, see, all we would do is we would cut that section of his face off, and then regrow the entire section.
There you go.
I mean, that is actually medically how that works.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. You have a old scar on your arm that you don't like, cut the entire arm off, and we will grow a new one.
Verlin, that is Quinn's room, just as an FYI. And the green, the across the hall in that green room is Nix's room. There's a little patio out on the outside.
I mean, there is a nice purple room right here for Verlin.
I think, yeah. I wouldn't know where everything was yet, so I had dibs afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to pick one now.
I mean,
Yeah,
to
let
be
me put
fair,
your-
I was only looking at the blue one because it's my favourite colour.
Oops, that was the wrong token.
Where would Rowan want to bed?
There were
Second
rooms
floor.
on the first floor as well.
Yeah.
I would probably want one of the second floor ones, though. Those beds are bigger.
True.
Probably, let's see. Well, Pebble's in that room, actually.
It looks like this is the last single one left.
Ooh. No, let's look downstairs.
Oh gosh, he
Keep
that was going to
jumping,
be
Matt.
terrifying.
Pebble just rapidly freaked Rowan out.
Oh, that room's actually perfect for Verlin. I can grow my herbs on the balcony.
Yeah, you got a little balcony there, with a little picnic table. So yeah, Rowan, I put your token on the stairs there next to.
Yes, I see it.
I think he's too scared to stay in the room next to Pebble.
Yes, I think that is exactly right, as he does not want to stay near Pebble after that exchange on the stairs.
If you if Grix goes upstairs and sees you like walking around, he'll kind of look at you and just everything okay, Rowan?
Oh yes, terribly sorry. Just looking for a good place to stay. I've never been a fan of these upper floor rooms personally, but it seems like I may have to make do.
I think the two next to Pebble are open.
Is there anything available on the first floor? I'm not a big fan of heights.
Grix just looks a little bit confused and just, yeah, I'm sure I can beat that. Grix just looks a little bit confused and just, I think there are a couple left, but they don't have nearly as big of beds. But if that's what you want, sure.
Oh, I'm used to living on the trail anyway. A bed's better than nothing.
I just like the idea of that big bed and then tiny little Pebble laying in the middle of it.
It's like when you
Curled
go in
up
and your
in
cat
a little
is,
ball,
yeah,
like in
your
the
cat is curled
center
up.
of it, on top of the blanket.
She would definitely be the one to like build a like pillow and blanket for it.
Oh yeah, probably all of the pillows from this room side are all with her.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna move back to the first floor real quick. So if you'll look, the bed that like the room that Pebble's in on this map, is the one that is
Directly above that empty room.
well, yeah. So
Yep.
like, so these like, if you look like this room and then like this room and this room here, if you zoom in and look at the map, they're actually bunk beds. They have ladders,
Oh,
but this one isn't. This one right here does not have a bunk bed. It actually has a regular bed. And then Caden's got the only double bed on the first floor.
Oh, right. And that's Pebble's token in that one, so it's not like
Yeah.
Pebble's in that room.
Yeah, but she's just not actually there. I'll put her. I'll
She's
put her out.
everywhere, Rowan.
Everywhere.
She's haunting you.
let
So yeah,
me
I'll put you over here if
see.
that's where you wanted to go. But
I'm thinking, I am looking, and yeah, if the other ones are bunks, that would be the one that he would go for.
Got a nice little bath right down the hall.
Little bath right down the hall, privacy.
for now, yeah, there's nobody there. You basically, you and Caden, the only ones that would be. I mean, there's two toilets here, so
Yeah, this room is fine.
I mean, knowing Grix, as soon as our druid friend comes back, he might have to transfer to one of the rooms with a bunk bed.
yeah. So Moira has a little thing for Grix, so you haven't met her yet. She's kind of weird.
I don't think she's the strangest character we've met so far.
Probably not, but it is kind of a funny juxtaposition with you have the very tall elf that's flirting with a tiny little gnome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Grix needs to get on that.
She, you know, she
Grix is
just
already.
she talks to birds and uses them as spies and turns into birds, and you know she's not totally normal.
All right, so I think we're all in for the evening then.
All right. So you guys can get your long rest if you need to.
Yay!
So,
Yep.
I would like to have more than 9 hit points again. Thank you.
Sure,
I
you
get
10.
2.
Haha.
A 10 and a 4.
yeah, Grix has portents. That's what he's rolling for.
Ah,
And you didn't see one
Ooh.
of the best things, which will be actually. How would that work, Matt? Pebble's ability to give back spells with a warlock.
I mean, warlocks barely have any spells.
But that's what I mean. Since they don't have like spell levels,
Eldritch Blast. That's all they have.
All over and over and over again. Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast.
would Pebble be able to give him spells back then? Though?
So right now, I do have Bard spells going up to level 3,
okay.
but I also will eventually have Warlock spells, and they'll be up to level 2. So, like right now, I only have one first level Warlock slot that comes back on a short rest.
Okay. No,
By
just
the way,
'cause yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask. We didn't level up after last session, right?
No, because it was
I
actually
think we just
first
leveled.
one-
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 sessions ago that you leveled up. Because I probably would have. I mentioned this in the last game. I probably would have leveled you guys up, but the combat round that you guys were in was the first one that you'd had since you leveled up. So it was like, oh, I didn't see it. I'll let you guys stay at that level a little longer just to use your abilities.
Ride it out, absolutely.
Okay, so we're still level 6.
Correct.
Got it.
And,
If you guys were all level 7, I was going to feel way better about how bad I lost that second fight.
Yeah, you all are actually pretty powerful for level 6 with some of the items and stuff that you've got. But I was just thinking that, yeah, Val is probably the weirdest person that you've met. The person that works for the Seeker, the one that has no jaw and talks via her patron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost forgot about her.
Yeah, she was the Seeker. Actually, that's the other thing. The Caden that you missed. The Seeker actually showed up to help in the last. They asked him to cast Plane Shift to send the Grey Jester back to the Feywild, which didn't work. He didn't really get a chance to do it. So
Yeah, I need to go back and see how badly we fucked up.
it was random chance. You guys actually did really, really well. Normally I don't, and this is Rowan, this is for you as well. I very, very, very rarely ever roll random encounter. I don't roll on tables for random encounters because I don't like I don't like the combat for the sake of combat, because I want it to like have a purpose.
Yeah.
So if you guys are like traveling, like unless I have something planned to come up and sneak up on you guys or whatever, I'm not going to be like, oh, a bunch of bandits attacked you randomly, because it's just boring.
Yeah.
So, but I did have a roll to see if anything was going to come out of the portal that opened up from the Feywild, and something did. So normally I don't do that, but I wanted to I didn't want to just say, hey, this big monster is going to appear no matter what.
Right.
So I had everybody roll, and the roll led to a giant monster appearing. And actually, but otherwise, everybody avoided the fight with the Grey Jester, which is something that was pretty interesting, because it didn't have to go down that way. You definitely could have ended up fighting him. So
Just thinking real quick, Matt. The things we got bitch slapped by beforehand, was that the same things that came, like part of the monster that came out of the big portal?
Yeah.
Okay, so he bitch slapped us before he even came to our realm.
Correct.
Okay.
He was just asserting dominance.
Yes.
He did. I think I'm pretty sure I sent the lightning bolt at him. He got mad and teleported to me, hit me once, and I was like at 2 HP. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, mainly it was because he had that ability to basically Misty Step. That's not really what it was. And he was almost dead. I was like, I want him to use this ability before he dies, so I just did that because you would hit him last. I was like, all right, this is quite cool. But then I think Verlin immediately ran over and just hacked him to pieces. Like,
well, I Misty Stepped away too. Then fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah. So, in the morning here, was there anything that you guys wanted to do, or did you want to just drink some water out of a weird mug?
I will cast Sending. No, never mind. We're in the middle of something, so I won't cast. Ignore me.
Where are we having our drinks, both ladies and gentlemen?
And technically, Verlin, that's the pantry, basically. the smithy is up here. I know you mentioned
Okay.
the smithy earlier, but yeah, that's the larder. It's probably a better place to hide it anyway. But
Yeah. Well, anyway, I hit it and I'm just gonna go. Okay.
So who's first?
Me. Grick said I can do it first, so I'm going to do it first.
Okay.
Uh,
Just try not to wander off once you're there, Pebble.
Okay.
Who wants? Well, before she goes, let's come up with a bit of a plan. She'll go. Should we send Verlin next?
We can, and maybe Caden afterwards.
Yeah, I can follow up.
Then Rowan, last or next to last?
Whichever you folks prefer.
Right. Well, then I'll come in last. Everyone can make sure nothing's going to jump on me right away.
Makes
If
sense.
you give me like 20 seconds, I can let you know how things are on the other side. I'll let you know if there's a problem.
Grick kind of like tilts his head a little bit and just, how?
I'll just like make a pizzazz sort of motion with my hands and just be like, magic.
Assuming you have 20 seconds to let us know.
We'll be coming right after you go.
Okay.
Well, just be wary that when you come through, something may pounce on you, but it may be pebble-sized.
Pebble just grins.
Grix just turns red and sits down, waiting.
Man, I should have kept augury prepared.
Will this teleportation go well?
No!
Will we be ambushed on the other side of this teleportation?
Yes.
I just like the fact that the augury is basically just like the magic 8-ball. I mean, it's just like that's how we're. I mean, like random it seems to be.
Okay, after you, Pebble.
Okay.
I just
Cup.
want
Some water in your
before
cup.
we do it, I just make sure we have enough water in like a pitcher or something so everyone can do it.
But do you have enough water once you teleport to the desert that in the middle of the desert that you're being sent to?
True. I think
So-
our cleric can create water.
Quick question, Grix. How many uses does this have? Like, it's not like it's going to teleport 2 of us and then be done, right?
Did
Based
I?
on your previous, they do appear to be like permanent runes, so it's not like the magic's gonna dissipate.
Grix was just looking and say, "Well, I don't think so. It may have even been used before. It seems to be a permanent enchantment."
Okay.
Okay. Cup.
All right. So you see Pebble take a big gulp of water, and as soon as she sort of takes the cup away from her mouth, it just sort of drops down, and she disappears.
Well,
I will quickly put water in the cup
Ooh.
and go to take a drink.
All right. So same thing.
yep, then I will.
All right. Same thing.
Rowan's going to kind of look at the cup, find a place to dump out everyone's backwash water, fill it up, and then take a drink.
How did I end up in this tree?
All right. So Rowan disappears, and Grix is
Grix
all on.
pours it immediately and just drinks.
All right. So, within a pretty rapid succession, you all take the drink, and then you find yourselves in the hallway of what appears to be a very nice home. You can see that in front of you there is a door, and behind you there is a door. Both very nice, thick oak doors. Also in front of you, you can see that there is a portrait of a older gentleman with very nice sort of aristocratic clothing. This portrait is lying on the floor as if it was sort of just discarded. And then hanging in its place on the wall is the portrait of a younger man, and his face looking very pompous and condescending. And the nameplate beneath the portrait hanging on the wall says Tristan Harper. And the nameplate on the portrait that is on the floor reads Siegfried Harper. And as you're standing there, kind of taking in what your new surroundings here, the portrait of Tristan starts to speak. And it says, welcome to Ivy Mansion, ancient home of the Harper dynasty. Ignore my uncle down there on the floor. One of us was supposed to hang him in the bathroom or something. But if my enchantments worked correctly, one of you should now have a pair of keys in your pocket. The brass one opens the doors behind you, and the silver one, well, not exactly sure what the silver one does, but I'm sure you'll find a use for it. I do hear that there are some nasty things lurking about, but I did want to make one other note for you. There is a we'll call him a creature. We call him Clatter. That's the name of our caretaker who I've sent inside. He has a map of the manor, and just need to ask him for it. I would like you to go to each room and clear it out of anything irritating, and for that you'll receive your proper recompense. Now, if you'll excuse me, there is someone who I must visit. Best of luck to you all, and speak with you soon. And then the portrait just sort of like stops animating and then just appears to be a regular portrait.
This feels like a carnival game.
And I will move you all to a map.
I hope not, Pebble. If I recall correctly, you weren't particularly good at them.
Pebble just glares at him.
So you're in a hallway that you can see that there's delicate sort of like molding all along the ceiling. The carpet is very spotless. You notice, in addition to the painting, there are a lot of mirrors that are covering the walls. There are various different shapes and sizes.
Grix is going to kind of look around and just, who has the keys?
Rowan will.
I'm assuming it's probably going to be first or last.
And also, because both just BRB'd, for Caden, I double check because I think I gave your token sight, so you probably don't need the torch. But
Oh, I didn't have sight when I first
okay,
landed.
let me double check that then. Oh, yep. Wait a minute. Hold on. I was on the wrong thing. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I missed your token. All right. How about now?
Yep, I think that did.
All right. Because I was the intent was
well
that
lit.
was the idea that you guys would that the interior is lit. But it's the crappy thing about dynamic lighting. I mean, I want you to be able to. I want to be able to like close stuff off so that you can't see everything all at once. But then I have to give you all sight. So. I assume you all can just see the hallway that you're in.
Right now,
I can see something to the south where the hallway
Yeah,
turns.
I see
so
up
that-
here, and I can see down there. Looks like a little extension this way.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to
Same.
make sure that it was just basically that you couldn't see like outside of the walls that you're standing in.
Nope. Nope. Everything else is pretty good for
All
being
right,
cleared off.
so there's a door here and then a door here, and the talking painting was right here basically.
So, are we able to determine who has the keys?
Tara has the keys. Pebble has the keys. She's just not back.
Well, while we're waiting for her to get back, can I just I'm gonna look around to everyone and just say, just give me 10 minutes real quick, please. I just want to make sure there are no and nothing's going to explode on us in the vicinity, and I will sit down and start ritually casting detect magic.
That sounds like a wonderful idea, and I'll do the same.
Did I miss any exposition while I was gone for a minute?
Basically just describing the hallway. Very nice carpeting, looks completely spotless. There are a number of paintings and a lot of mirrors of different shapes and sizes all over the walls. As far as detect magic, you get a faint, almost like a residual effect from the portrait of Tristan that was talking, but nothing else in the hallway appears to be magical. So the mirrors, though quite interesting, are not magical.
Okay.
It is just 30 feet in front of within.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So
All right. Then in that case, it said the keys go to this door, correct?
nope. It just said that the golden keys will open the doors behind you. So it's actually that door. And then there was a silver key as well that he didn't specifically tell you what it was for.
Right. Well, then in that case, can I go around to these doors while we're waiting for Tara to get back? And can I just inspect to see if there's any regular trap mechanisms or anything?
Yep. Do an investigation.
Could I assist as I am proficient?
Yep. The doors that you check, so there is the door in front of you, the door behind you. There are two doors up to the north. They all appear to be locked. You don't notice any sort of like magical traps or anything like that, or any mechanical traps for that matter.
All right. And then I guess my last question, since we no longer have our rogue, did you ever think about letting me do something with lockpicking with my tinkering tools?
I don't think
Oh,
that you
if
specifically
someone
like.
gets me a... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I'm open to the idea, but it would be something you'd have to train with.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna say if someone gets me locksmith's tools between my jack of all trades and my stone of luck, I'm actually like 2/3 proficient.
And you can always just get the knock spell because that's worked out well for you in the past.
Oh, don't you mention knock. All right. Pebble, you have the keys magically appear in your pocket, I guess.
Yes.
Cool.
So the portrait mentioned that keys appeared. So you have a set of golden keys that will open this door right here, at least that door, and then you have a silver key that the portrait of Tristan did not say what it was for, so you don't know what it does. And the other doors in that Grix looked at appear to not be trapped, but do appear to be locked. So there's two doors up to the north, and then there's the door directly in front of you.
Okie dokes.
All right. So Grix will kind of look at everyone and just say, well, probably best not to leave anything behind us. We could check up here first.
Very
Okay.
well.
Makes sense to me.
How are we doing this? Are we just kicking down the doors? Let's kick down the doors. Pebble, kick down the.
Am I kicking down a door?
Maybe
no,
try the
we-
keys.
Oh. Pebble tries the keys.
All right, give me just a second here.
The brass ones open up these two, if I recall correctly.
I think the only ones we know are back here is the gold keys. Other than that, I don't think we know what the brass do.
Well, we shall find out.
So you're gonna open the door. You're gonna try and which one are you gonna try to open first?
The one in front of Pebble.
All right, so this door here. So yeah, the keys that you have, not the silver key, but the others, do appear to unlock this door.
Cool.
Any new magic?
Interesting.
Oh, I can do the magic glowing thing.
I think not. Well, Grisel, not yet. I still have my spell up.
I do as well.
This just appears to be a dining room. There does not appear to be anything magical. There are fires lit. It's kind of warm in here, actually. But
This
nothing...
might be the dumbest question ever because I think you know what, it already is the dumbest question ever. These are shelves, right? Not stairs.
They are, in fact, stairs. They just look bad.
Okay, I actually thought they were shelves.
They are. I do actually. I could take you to the second floor, but I'm not going to because there's not a whole lot to show you up those stairs. So basically, I'll just describe what it is. So similarly to kind of like the guild hall, here, let me make sure I'm on the right thing here. So up these stairs, there is an above, like right here, there is basically a kind of a balcony. So you would go up these stairs and then you could stand up here and look down onto the dining room. But it doesn't actually, it's not, it's almost like it's just a singular, like it doesn't look like the balcony doesn't go to any other places. So it's basically just like in this room has a second floor sort of like little balcony, but it's not like the balcony's connected to the rest of what would be the second floor, so you wouldn't go to like another room on the second floor. But basically it's just a way for people to stand up here and look down onto the dining room, but that's the extent of the second floor in here.
GM question. Would I be able to look around the room for any keys or switches?
Do an investigation check.
Help them.
And also, where Rowan is standing, there are double doors right here. There are double doors here, and then there's another door here. And there's
What about that one?
door. Yeah, there's also a door down there.
It's a curious design.
Yeah. So,
is there anything on the table for just like, silverware, food, anything?
Yeah, so in the center, so it is silverware, and in the center, so this thing is like a suckling pig.
Appears fresh.
Yeah, it looks pretty tasty, actually. But as far as searching for anything sort of odd or strange, you notice that there are these things. So like there's just animal heads. So this is a deer, and this is like a bear. So there are wild animals mounted onto the walls, but which isn't necessarily strange, just decoration. But other than that, the room in and of itself seems pretty normal. Same thing with because this is actually the same person that made the map as the guild hall. But you notice that again, the size of the grid is obnoxious because I mean look how tiny the chairs are compared to like the size of the tokens. But it is what it is.
I like to ritually cast detect poison and disease.
Okay. So you guys, everybody's gonna have to sit around for 10 minutes while you do that.
Can Pebble wait that long?
Before
Fine.
Trying to eat suckling pig.
Get it? I'll just cast it.
Can't you cast cure poison afterwards?
I would say protection from poison disease will cure it afterwards.
Yeah. It isn't like I don't know. Does
I think
lesser
it's
restoration?
So, which I don't have prepared.
It is curious that they would set out a dinner for unexpected guests.
Maybe if I take a little bite, it'll be okay.
I cast it normally.
doesn't it, you don't sense anything.
Can I eat it?
Well, it's not poisoned or diseased, but I don't know if I would eat random food.
She looks around, and then is there any cups on
Rowan's-
the table?
Yep.
She
Rowan's
picks up
not
one
going
of
to
the
stop
cups.
her, but he's going to take a few steps back.
She picks up one of the cups and is like, Tristan, can I eat this food?
No response.
Useless.
Well, he didn't
Rick-
say no.
Oh, that's true. And she will start eating.
It's delicious.
She eats faster.
Yeah, I mean, aside from just maybe the fact that you're eating very quickly, it's I mean, it's ham. It's wonderfully cooked, like suckling pig. It's got kind of a cinnamon glaze on it, so it's kind of got a little bit of sweet. It's got some salt to it. It's delicious.
While Pebble's eating, Rowan's going to take a look around to see if there are any signs of whoever must have come to cook and set this table and such.
I guess you could also do an investigation check.
I open this door.
Investigation.
It's locked. Damn it.
Meh.
I mean, the best you could really. I mean, it seems like all of this stuff is recent. So like the table setting and everything. I mean, like the plates look very clean. It doesn't look like it's been sitting out for a very long time. The pig is still warm. So obviously, just from that, it's fairly recent. I mean, yeah, it is actually there's these double fires in here, so it is quite warm, which obviously would help the food stay warm a bit longer. I think the longer that you stay in here, you might even start to be sweating a little bit. It's actually, you could tell once you opened the door that a lot of heat started to escape. So it might be, where Verlin's standing, it might be a little bit cooler as the heat of the room is sort of going out into the hallway. But yeah, it's pretty warm in here. So.
Curious.
Pebble, let me see those keys.
I got the keys. That means I am the master of the keys. Is there any door you wish for me to unlock?
Well, there's that one there, but then there's also the other one across the hall that we should check too. So why don't we start with...
She attempts.
I don't know. I might be showing my age. I don't like. Just moving to the key. Like just thinking of Ghostbusters, the key master of Gozer. The keys do appear to work on this door as well. So let me open this up real quick, and then let me pull this up. All right. So this is obviously the kitchen. And you can see that there is another roaring fire in one of the fireplaces. There is a table for preparing food. There are some supplies. And everybody do a perception check.
There's still no poisons or diseases, right?
Concentration of 10 minutes.
Pebble's just
no.
burping.
She's just thinking about going back into the dining room to get some more ham. Well, you're all terrible. Let me.
No, not all.
Grick's got a
Yeah,
20.
okay, yeah, Grish is good. I missed that one. Let me. Okay, he's BRB, so let me roll for Verlin real quick.
Yeah, your roll is weird, Rowan.
Yeah, it's because I have an item, and the way that the macro works for it is odd. I had to give it an item that gave a +1, just a flat +1 to all skill checks, on
Yeah.
top of Bardic, Jack of all trades,
Yeah.
or in this case,
About that, I may have told you to put the 1 on those modifiers in the wrong place because you're rolling a plus D0 instead of a +1.
I mean,
I'll
for
take
now,
a
we
look.
can before we figure it out, we can just. I mean, you can just make it a 12 for now, so that you don't have to worry about it.
I think it is still getting the full bonus. Looking at the summary at the end, I would treat them as they are, and I can see if I can clean it up later. But I think it is giving the right results, just in a weird way. Because I've still got the +3 from proficiency and the +1 from my item listed.
Okay.
Grix, you're actually the only person who notices this at all. And that 12 perception was I rolled for you, Verlin. On this table, you actually see a ghostly image of a child laying on this table, and you see a large creature with a cleaver come and slam the cleaver down right next to this kid's head, and the kid screams, bloody murder, and then the image fades.
I mean, Right, he does not throw up. Grix is gonna. Oh no! And he just kind of starts like muttering over and over and pointing at where it happened.
What? It's a table.
Now that Grix is pointing it out, can any of us see it?
No, this was Grix can't see it anymore either. It just
Okay.
appeared and then faded.
Grix is gonna, as he's like stumbling over his words. Do I happen to know what this creature was?
Do a nature check.
A 20.
Your best guess. I'm probably not really gonna guess with a 20. It looks like an.
Okay. No, this may be very bad.
It's a table, and Pebble gets on top.
Yeah, but there was just a bit of an illusion there. No one else saw it.
No.
Afraid not, friend.
Oh, well, there, and he just points to like the middle of the table. There was a child laying there, and then a very big ogre looking creature came with a cleaver, and yeah, this is gonna be bad.
There we go. Fixed the thing.
All right, and you guys can all, if you want, you can also do investigation checks if you want to investigate the room.
Sure.
Alice Grix.
Rowan in particular going to look and see if it looks like there are any ways out of this room other than the way they came in, like hidden passages, doors, anything like that.
All right, give me a second here. So there are two additional doors. So there's the door that you came in here, and again, this is the crappy part about the way that dynamic lighting works. There's a window right here that you can see outside, and then there is a door here, and then there's another door here.
Are you on the right layer?
No, I am not. So there is a window here.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the window.
I can see the window.
Right, but I mean, like the way the dynamic lighting would work is just that a
Oh,
real
you
window.
can't see out of it.
You can't see out of it, right? So then there is a door here, and then there is a door here. But also, you notice within this other sort of fireplace, there is a lot of very thick um, spider webs in there.
It is a
Can't be-
fireplace.
Can't be having any of that. I will start casting prestidigitation to clean it up.
Well, but how did they cook the dinner if they didn't use this fireplace? I'm assuming that the webs wouldn't be there if the fireplace was recently used.
Yeah, so this obviously is where this has a fireplace, and
that
it has
fireplace.
this has a fireplace, and it has like the spit on there, so you can see that this is likely where that suckling pig was roasted, and then this fireplace here has
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
a bunch of fire.
Gotcha.
Probably a very dumb idea, but I'm going to try to prestidigitate the spider webs out.
I'll just use firebolt.
The magic reacts violently.
So you do that, and then you can see as you do that, some of it starts to go away. But then as you look up, sort of like into the chimney, you can see that it's almost like a solid. It almost looks like solid white. Like the entire chimney is just full of thick spider webs.
Yeah, Grix is done with that shit.
Next
Grix
door.
just points up and says, "If you want to burn it, go for it. But that is either a lot of spiders or a very big one."
Well, considering we have to clear the place out.
I don't mind starting it.
And before you do that, everybody do another perception check. All right, so I'm going to read this, so technically all of you will hear it, but Grix and Pebble, you maybe only get pieces of it. Little, like maybe Grix is a little still flustered, but the rest of you, and I mean, again, you guys I would say that it's impossible for all of you, or for you to not hear at least some of this. But you hear a child, the sound of a child's voice, and almost kind of a sing-song says, "Lock the door, blow out the light. The hungry Oni haunts the night. Hide and tremble, little ones. The Oni wants to have some fun. Hear it scratching on the door. See its shadow cross the floor. The sun won't rise for quite a while. Till then, beware the Oni's smile."
Well, that was officially creepy.
What was?
And it was particularly creepy because it wasn't in my voice. It was in like the Children of the Corn child singing song voice. I just can't do that very well.
See, I've got an idea of what we could do to kind of.
Yep,
Do
and I
that?
don't want to do it.
But could I do an intelligence check to see if human like Robert idea is on par of game idea?
Sure.
Well, probably.
No. Verlin is not as smart as Rob.
Because Grix, I think, probably has the same idea as I do.
I think we both have the same idea.
Yeah.
Out of game.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to do it?
Oh, Grix, no. No, Grix does not want to.
Well, tell Verlin.
Grix is going to kind of look around at everyone and just, what did you all hear?
Door, light. I forget the rest.
To lock the door, put out the lights. The only shadows.
Hunt tonight.
It's quite possible if we close the door and put out the fire.
Could work.
We would have to lock it as well.
Oh, I've got the key. I can do it. Pebble runs over and
do we
closes it.
really want to do this? Does
She's doing
anyone
it.
here?
She's doing it.
I am
As
drinking
she's-
my potion.
As she's doing it, Grix is sitting there, kind of walking around, like, does anyone know besides me what an oni is? This can be very bad.
I would assume I would have a chance of knowing an Oni.
Yeah, roll nature with advantage, given your.
Mind if I make that roll too?
Please, everyone, make it. I want everyone to know how bad this might be.
Are you proficient in nature?
I am not. I am not now.
Okay, I locked the door.
Well, shall we put out the light?
I would say that, yeah, with Rowan and Caden, and even with Verlin as well. I mean, I would say none of you have ever seen an Oni, but you would. Oni are very well known as. They're in nursery rhymes, and I mean that's where that rhyme is that you heard. You probably would have heard that rhyme before, because kids do sing it, and it is sort of the. I mean, Oni are, in many ways are akin to like the boogeyman, right? Like it's a thing that is used to scare kids. I would say that particularly Verlin would know at the very least. Again, you have never seen one, but you would know that they're not fairy tales and that they are actually real.
Children's song for children's tale. Still, it's the best lead we have right now.
Well, it also might not be this room. It might be the one before. But if we're going to do this, everyone ready yourselves, and I'm going to jump up in this corner on top of the table, and I'm just going to ready a ray of frost because I don't want to waste an actual spell in case nothing comes out.
I will ready a spell as well.
I can take care of the fire from here,
Okay.
and I can protect the gnome. Well, this gnome. The other one seems to take care of herself fine.
Grix kind of looks down, a bit taken aback. Like he kind of just looks down. I'm okay at staying out of trouble myself, but sure.
Another body never hurt. Still, if you're sure, I can always go over and put out the fire from there.
Well, the one thing I do know about Onis is that they are magical, so perhaps a bit more spread out would be good.
Fair enough.
Pebble is on the table.
Ooh,
All right, so everybody just do a quick intelligence check, just a straight intelligence check.
Intelligent.
If this is about the Oni, would I get advantage?
It's not specifically about the Oni.
Because of Hunter's Bane, if it's about information about stuff like undead, fiends, fae.
I think Oni is giant, Ken.
It is a giant.
They're ogres, or related to ogres, I believe.
I think they're the only magical type of ogre.
Ogres have sorcerers, I think, or shaman.
Yeah, they might. I mean, they do in World of Warcraft anyway. I don't know about D&D.
Forgotten Realms, at least, it's just Oni is like a catch-all for all ogre sorcerers because they're pretty much all their magic users are.
Yeah, and
sorcerers.
The description, it's Oni are sometimes called ogre mages. So that's kind of, I think you're right. It's just more of a catch-all. So Grix and Rowan, I'm assuming that everybody, because Grix didn't hear it originally, but they kind of going over it. It's not that you guys think that this is necessarily a bad idea, but you are thinking that going back over the rhyme that you heard, and it was the beginning: lock the door, blow out the light, the hungry Oni haunts the night. So you're also kind of realizing that the rhyme is basically saying lock the door and turn out the light to hide from the Oni, not necessarily to make the Oni appear. So I just as a check there.
Okay, so all right. Well, then I mean, Grix will kind of look at Rowan and everyone else and just say, "Well, if it is, hungry or whatnot, wouldn't it be more logical that it would be in the room with all the food?"
That's not a bad idea.
Okay. I trust Grix. And she unlocks the door and goes in.
Everybody make one more perception check.
Oh.
Again, all I picture is Pebble like walking around with her finger on the keys, just spinning them around.
So Rowan and Pebble don't notice this, but everybody else hears some rustling from the chimney with all the spider webs.
Ugh. All right. Grix will
Can
point
radio
it out.
start a fire?
Grix will point it out and just, the empty fireplace in there's movement. And Grix will run and jump up on the table.
Go, go, go,
Get
go.
a piece of wood and just chuck it in. Like, so set it on fire and chuck it in.
So give me a second. Let me just make sure this doesn't screw up when I do this. So as you do that, you can hear kind of this. I guess I could best describe it as kind of a shrieking sound. And then I'm sure you've seen it. So insects and stuff can sort of like squeeze down and then move out of a space. And so you see these two very large things sort of squeeze out of the chimney and then crawl up kind of onto the ceiling. And I'm going to put them here just because there's no other place to put them.
Ooh.
I mean, did
You
they
guys have
take
fun
any
in that room.
fire damage?
No, because they escaped as the fire was in. So everybody just go ahead and roll initiative.
Now, do I have to roll initiative if I'm just going to say no and leave away from the spiders?
If you're gonna just abandon everybody, no, you can just.
Well, if this was actually Mike and not Grix, I would run as fast as I could from spiders.
Do you see me on the turn order?
No.
Okay, I'll roll again.
All right, let's see. For fun, if anybody wants to roll a nature check, except for Griggs, who's not in here.
Sure. I think I know what these things are, but I don't know if Rowan does.
Spiders. They're spiders.
They are called nightmare fuel.
They are more than just spiders, my friends.
Big spiders. They look to be about a large-sized creature.
Yeah, large monstrosity. In fact, these, for those of you that rolled a 15 or higher, these are phase spiders.
Knew it. Eh.
And Grix, you're first. And let's remember, earlier in Discord, he's not a coward.
No, Grix isn't a coward. Mike is a coward when it comes to spiders. But I am going to, I can move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I can get back in the room and I will point over at Pebble and say, I hope you can reach, and I will cast Enlarge on her.
Yeah. Hope I can reach too.
And that will be my turn, because that was all of my movement.
All right. Let me just do. Just gonna roll to see which one of you gets attacked.
Clearly, it should be Mike.
It is actually Caden who's gonna get the first one. So just so you're aware, the one on the right here is currently on the floor. The one right here is actually on the ceiling.
Okay.
And it is going to bite or attempt to bite Caden as a 22 to hit.
Haha, you fool. That hits exactly.
And you have to make a Constitution saving throw. Oh dear.
I make it.
You did not.
Did
So
I
you take 8 piercing damage, and then you take 18 poison damage.
Fuck.
It's fine. What's the worst that could happen?
All right, Pebble,
Jeez.
it is your turn.
Okay.
Wait, I didn't detect these things in the chimney?
No, you didn't.
No.
I'm pretty sure
Pebble.
there's a lot of stone when it comes to a chimney.
I didn't look up.
Pebble gets onto the table. Can she reach the spider on the ceiling?
Probably not, but you can definitely get the one that's next to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely get that one.
Okay. She is going to rage.
Oh God. Oh no,
Everyone
we're all
is
so
dead.
close. We're all so close.
No,
Everyone within a 10 radius is dead. No. So. Well, okay. This. Great. So, plant life temporarily grows around you. The ground within 10 feet of you is difficult terrain, and you do not suffer penalties to your movement through it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's real useful.
With my
Okay.
nature check, do I know how dangerous things are on a scale of 1 to 10?
Probably an 8.
A scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what kind of spells should I be blowing here?
I would say that you would know that
Just get hit for like
creatures like this are I would probably you would consider them more of like a glass cannon, I suppose, in that they're extremely dangerous and they'll tear you apart. However, they're not particularly hardy, so you think that you might be able to take them down as long as you survive. They may or may not last very long, I guess.
okay.
The first attack misses. The second attack obviously hits.
Yep.
Were you doing this recklessly?
Nope.
So yeah, the 18 definitely hits. So 10 points of damage.
But Reckless is so much more fun.
I mean, that's why I always play a Berserker Barbarian, because they're amazing. All right, Verlin, not horse. It is your turn.
Well.
Rowan, for clarity on that, somehow Rob turn his character sheet into a horse on roll 20. That's I don't know.
Impressive.
Yeah, it was great.
I accidentally dragged a horse from the compendium onto my character sheet.
I see.
Yeah. Because it sounds fun, I will cause my Crimson Nightmare to burst into flames, taking 4 damage. I shall take 2 swings at the one Pebbles attacking, because it's on the floor. I think the second one did it.
Yeah, the 13 actually misses, but the second one does do it. And we will just want to make sure, Caden, you want to negate that crit, right?
I think I'm gonna let that one slide. If I negate every crit, then the game just becomes no fun.
Can
Dude, that's
I-
literally perfect damage.
That is actual perfect damage.
Yeah, take a screenshot of that one because hopefully that never happens again. Go ahead and just for fun, Rowan will get his first view of it. Go ahead and do a D100.
Ooh, that's
94.
big.
This thing is so done.
That's
let's
not
see.
even funny.
So it's slashing damage. Haha, this is a pun. The effect of slashing damage is disarmed. So it's quadruple damage. And if the damage the target takes is equal to or greater than half of its maximum hit points, they lose an arm/hand. Disarmed. Get it?
I
So
do.
I'm assuming I kill it with quadruple what the hell I've just done.
Correct.
40 damage.
So could it be a case of I just pirouette and sever all 8 of its limbs and end up here?
Yeah, like you just kind of like slice down and then just in one swoop cut off 4 legs on one side, kind of spin around the body, slash again, take off the other ones, and then maybe even just plunge the sword into the top of its head, and it is just a heap of horrible spider ichor, and yeah, it's nasty.
Well, I did my job. See you guys.
Rowan, it is your turn. This one is on the ceiling.
I'm assuming since it was able to bite one of us and can therefore reach us, we can reach it.
Depending on what weapon that you're using, and obviously, a short sword with a gnome was unable to reach it.
Right. Rapier with a human.
You probably wouldn't get a full swing at it, but you could probably hit it. You're probably not gonna. I mean, I wouldn't say you would think it was. You're not gonna get your full weight into it, but
Okay.
I mean, you certainly would. I would say if you jump up onto the table, you'd have a better chance.
Sure. We can do that. He's gonna swear, jump up onto the table, and make a big ol' draw the rapier and make a stab with booming blade. Actually, no. First is going to bonus action for drawing the sword. Bonus action hex the creature, and then booming blade, which is going to miss.
Which misses.
Shoot. Well, that's my turn. So yeah.
All right. It is the dead spider's turn, so it is now Caden's turn.
So could I leave this thing's? If I leave the range of this, is it going to get an attack of opportunity? Like, is it that close?
Yeah.
Farther
I mean,
away?
for all intents and purposes, it's basically over your head right now.
Okay. And the fire in that bottom corner is going now, so there's nothing else that's going to pop out.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a fully burning fireplace, but you have a reasonable assumption that if anything else was going to come out, it probably would have already.
Okay. You know what? I'm just going to dodge and pass. Just trying not to die here.
Grix.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do a good old-fashioned level 1 magic missile at it. So that is going to be 3d4 plus 3. So 8 points of damage to it.
All right.
And then I will purposely go prone, just hoping that it might not be able to reach me.
I like it.
So I will lay down on my stomach and just put my hands over my head like, the whole get under your desk type thing from the 50s, and I will end my turn.
If you can't see me, I can't see you.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So if you're using the dodge, then it would be disadvantage on attack against you. Is that am I remembering this correctly? Kate?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's still going to try and attack you, so I'll see what it gets at disadvantage. At disadvantage, it's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Another Constitution saving throw. Oh my God, this is going to be bad. Okay.
Oh.
So
What? It would've been another 26.
When you hear the DM breathe a sigh of relief, you know it's got to be bad.
yeah. Wait a minute. Let me read this. Okay. So first of all, you do take 12 points of piercing damage. And then what is it on a
I think it's half damage for a phase
half
spider.
damage? Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so you take 12 points of piercing damage, and then you take 9 points of poison damage. You would have taken 19 points of poison damage if you had failed that save.
God damn it.
I'm still going.
Spiders
Wow.
ruining your goddamn day.
And
Yeah,
man, too.
I'm just
So because I doubt it's gonna get around to it. I mean, I assume that you guys will probably be able to do something to this before Caden goes down. But if just as if that had dropped you to 0, you would have been paralyzed for an hour, regardless of if somebody brought you back to your like giving you hit points or whatever. You still would have been paralyzed for an hour, regardless. You would have just been out.
That's fine. We're locked in this little room.
But it is Pebble's turn.
You're muted.
If you're there, Terry. you're-
Whoops. Yes, she drops her short sword, pulls out her hand crossbow, and fires at it.
Yeah, and that hits.
Yay! And she does an additional 2 damage for the rage, and additional D4 because she's enlarged. Or does enlarge not apply because it's not melee?
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll roll enlarge again just so you see it.
I think it would apply to physical attacks, but not to ranged attacks.
Okay.
All right. Any movement?
Actually, it doesn't say melee. It just says the target's weapons also grow to match its new size.
Makes sense.
Yeah, sure. I'll take it. I mean, it's kind of goofy in the sense. I mean, it's assuming that a hand crossbow would do less from a gnome than do because honestly, at enlarged size, it's basically now the size of a regular hand crossbow.
Yep.
So, but it's fine. For now too, I'm gonna just delete the dead spider to get it out of the way so that we can kind of see what we're doing.
Okay, and she will fire again.
Also hits.
Plus additional 2, and then plus an additional 1.
All right. So you hear it make this sort of like sickening, gurgly, screechy sound that they always use for like big spiders in movies. That doesn't make any sense because I don't think spiders make that noise, but it's making that noise. It's hard to tell because I mean, obviously, if the spider does make noise, it's too small for us to actually hear what it sounds like. But so, are you gonna move?
Nope.
All right, Verlin.
I shall attempt to run off the table and take a overhead swing for the first attack. So I'll probably end up over here. There's an
All right,
18 hit.
it does indeed.
And to attempt for the second one, I will try to get a kick off the wall and slice across its underbelly and try and end underneath it.
Okay. 16 hits. It's not down yet, but it is looking pretty rough. It's making some more screeching noises. You can see that this sort of like blackish ichor is starting to come out of its lower abdomen where you sliced into it.
And I'll use my last 5 just to move back next to Caden. Hopefully it thinks I'm the more attractive target, considering I'm stabbing it.
It's. I think the fact that it's poisoned, Caden is keeping his attention. But Rowan, it is your turn.
All right, I'm still in range. I'm going to try to poke it again.
Okay.
Poke it up.
Nope.
Wow. Nope. Okay.
That's the kind of booming blade I like to see
Right.
because I hate that spell.
I guess I'm going to hold position so it has a hard time dropping down to do anything. And that'll be my turn.
All right, Caden, you are up.
Dodge again.
Fuck it, yeah, I dodge.
Yep, that worked so well the last time.
Look,
What
it's
are the
bound to
chances it'll hit again?
Well, the only thing I'd probably do is Toll the Dead, but yeah, because if this thing drops me, it's gonna drop me even with a heal, so I'm just gonna dodge.
All right, Grix, it is your turn. It is looking pretty rough.
All right. Well,
You can see it kind of skittering around and dancing like it's in pain.
well, I'm going to look up, get up to one knee, and I'm going to point at it, doing a couple of hand motions, drawing Ruin in the air, and I will cast Mind Spike on it. Wisdom save, and I'm going to make it fail.
Okay.
I'm going to make it roll a 4.
All right. I'm gonna roll it anyway, just see what it would have rolled. I rolled a 5.
Hey, I made you roll worse, so I still win. Yeah, so it'll take the 15 points of psychic damage.
All right, so you can see it kind of like shudders a little bit, and almost you can see that it almost drops off the ceiling as you hit it with that. It just kind of staggers a little bit, and it sort of like has to use its legs to sort of prop itself up on the side of the wall so that it doesn't just completely fall. And it skitters back up to the ceiling, but you can see it's not looking too hot right now.
Yep.
All right.
GM,
At disadvantage on the
I'm
poisoned.
going to roll a reaction. So on this attack, I'm going to roll a Hemocraft die and subtract that from your attack.
Okay. He's already at disadvantage.
Sorry.
Yes.
All right. So let's see what he does. So at disadvantage, it's a 21 minus 3, so it's 17.
That still
18.
hits.
18, yeah, 18.
God damn. I tried.
Yeah, I mean it was
You
a good
did
it was a good
try.
so you are down. There's just nothing about it. I mean, like,
Yeah, but am I still making the con roll for the poison?
let me just double check. So the wording on it's a little bit strange, but yeah, go ahead and do a con save. So let me read this to you guys and see what you guys think of the rule. So you take 12 points of piercing damage, so that drops you. But then it would be 17 points of poison damage. But what the wording says, if the poison damage reduces the target to 0 hit points, the target is stable but poisoned for 1 hour even after regaining hit points. So the way that I read that is that
Oh, because the poison. That's right. The poison still hits.
Yeah.
for
Oh, because
half.
he got poisoned the first time he got hit.
right.
No, I just.
But-
Well, I guess I was thinking because the poison still does damage. Like I was gonna say, if the poison doesn't do damage, then I wouldn't count it. But the poison here still does half damage regardless of the save, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think the wording
would-
for me is if the poison damage reduces the target to 0, it wasn't the poison that reduced you to 0. It was actually the piercing
Yeah.
damage that reduced you to 0. So that's
The
where
way-
I'm not entirely sure like how
I guess
it would.
my argument would be that the poison is still being inflicted with the bite. You know what I mean?
Right.
The way I would read that, at least, is that the poison also auto stabilizes you if it's what dropped you. The piercing damage is what dropped you, so you are not stable. In which case, you also took poison damage, so you would have one. You would be unconscious and have one death fail for taking damage already.
Right.
And then, but you would still. It wouldn't be what made you unconscious, so it wouldn't be something that would be like
Well, but
just by the wording of it would
I
not
guess
be.
that also depends on how is the damage inflicted. Like, because if a rogue has a poison dagger, doesn't the poison damage get added to the attack?
Yeah, I mean,
Mm,
I would say
So-
like just from outside of the game mechanics, if we're just thinking of this like from a realistic perspective, so if the spider bites you, it knocks you unconscious just from the bite, but then you still did take the poison damage. So from my point of view, because if you're looking
Yeah,
at
I
it from
would think
a
so.
spider, right? Like what they do is they're not going to try and kill you. They're going to try and stabilize you so that they can eat you later. Like that's what spiders do, right? Like they stun their prey. They wrap them up in webs and then eat them over time later. So I mean, I kind of feel like it would be you would drop and then take the poison damage. So it's that combination where you would technically fail a death save, but then the poison itself would stabilize you, and you would just be
Yeah, and that's
for an hour.
That's how I feel about it too.
Yeah. Okay, so
I
it
see an
does
argument
that.
for it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I don't think that either ruling is wrong. I think by the rules of how it's written, the raw, I think
And I think
you probably wouldn't stabilize. But I think just from a realistic perspective of what spiders actually do, it makes more sense for you to take the poison and be stabilized by it. Which
Well, I
is
mean,
weird,
yeah, I mean,
but-
I'm just thinking intent though, because it's like the bite itself. Like the bite itself is more just the way that it's transferring the poison. Like, you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah, I
poison
mean,
is still affecting you regardless of whether or not the bite is taking you down. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, you take regardless of whether even you take the poison damage regardless. So it's just how
Yeah.
much of it you take. All right. So you are stable and poisoned and paralyzed for an hour.
Yep.
And after having done that and being very, very injured itself, it will use its bonus action to ethereal jaunt and
I was waiting for that.
go to a different plane of existence, the ethereal plane, in fact, and it disappears. And you're out of combat.
It ran away.
Grix is going to be looking around at everyone and does anyone have a potion? Because I don't think we would know that he's stable, right?
Rowan's gonna hop down and check if he's stable,
Yeah, I mean, you guys could do a medicine check to see if he's stable.
since
I have
you
a
know,
healer's
or try to
kit.
stabilize him if he's not, which is also a medicine check.
So I guess here's my question now. So given my background and everything, would like an herbalist kit and/or healer's kit allow me to make some sort of antitoxin, or is that just straight up alchemist stuff? Because I don't know if the healer's kit comes with like anti-venom or antitoxin or anything like that, or allows me to make it.
I'm pretty sure herbalism can let you make antidotes or antitoxins. I've got it right in front of me. Let me check.
Because I mean, there's a poisoner's kit, I believe, as far as like.
Yes, for making
yeah.
poisons, there's the poisoner's kit. I
Yeah, I was
think in Xanathar's it talks about being able to.
Like other kits to do other stuff. I don't know.
But yeah, I have a healer's kit, so I can just think
So
I can
healer's kit.
stabilize
This is a
them.
kit with a
Healer's-
leather pouch containing bandages, salves, and splints.
That's
This kit
it.
has 10 uses. As an action, you can use it to stabilize a creature without needing to make a wisdom check. Doesn't say anything about using it to craft things.
Yeah, and the herbalism kit doesn't have it either. I thought it did.
Well, create remedies and potions. Yeah. I mean, it's irrelevant for this scenario anyway, but
But I mean, I believe that you would be able to probably research how to make that, and those would honestly, anti-venom would be much more readily available than healing potions, and that's something else, Shane, that we're doing in this particular world. Healing potions are somewhat rare.
Oh
and,
yes, I saw that on the thing. The
yeah.
max carry capacity of 2, and
Yeah, just because it become, especially in higher levels, it just becomes a joke after a while.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna heal 1,000 times in a row. I don't know if anybody has. I think some of you do have potions, though, don't you?
Nope.
Nobody.
Nope. All I've got is the
Nope.
healer's kit.
I've got
Mm,
potions.
So with but regardless, even just with those 2 medicine checks, I mean, it's not difficult to understand that he's not dead. So I mean, he doesn't appear to be currently, and you can see that I was even say that because of the paralytic effect of the poison, you can see that his body even seems a little bit stiff, like he's seized up a little bit.
you know, sometimes when I rage, I get healing. Maybe if I try raging again, I'll get healing.
No.
Also, Verlin, make a nature check.
Cough, cough. Harvest the poison. Cough, cough.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea of why I had him do it.
Well, I was going to ask if I could say harvest the eyes at least because of what I'm trying to do out of combat type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you're purposely like making the attempt to just take something off of it, yeah, I mean, like the nature check was just more of the idea of like, well, hey, maybe I could use this, or maybe Caden could use this to develop some kind of anti venom for phase spiders, but it doesn't cross your mind. You're too concerned about popping out all the different eyeballs.
I mean, assuming we hang around for an hour until I get up, would I be able to try harvesting it then?
Yeah, I don't think that would be an issue. I would
I
say
mean,
that-
I have vials. Can I try real quick? Since I do know it's something that they both have been interested in.
It reminds me, I have Fey elemental ingredients in my
You're welcome.
item. What
Yeah.
is that? I don't know
that
what
was
that is.
off of the big Fey creature that they killed. Rob decided that Caden would be interested in taking some of that stuff
Okay.
for his, research and
Yeah.
Maybe
potions
able
and
to
stuff.
make something from it.
So, Grix, just do an intelligence check.
Just like I've got 2 extra sets of eyes now.
Don't spiders have like 8 eyes, man?
Oh, I took them.
So yeah, and I don't know what's the best skill, and I probably should have had you do this too, Verlin. What's the best thing to roll for like an actual skill, like your ability to? Because I know that like Matt Mercer did a lot when they were killing all the dragons. like I don't remember what he made them roll to see how much stuff they could get off of the, because he had them roll to see how much dragon scale they were able to harvest.
I would
was
would-
thought it was under
imagine-
survival.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's survival.
So you
So
want me to roll survival?
yeah, and then for fun, Verlin, do it too. All right, so you were able to cleanly get every single eye out of this, and Grix, you're like you have the idea that like, okay, well maybe we could do this, and as you get close to the venom, a little bit of it kind of like spills on your hand a little bit, and it stings, and you're like, nope, done, forget it, I'm out.
Just I say, with a 23, can I get his phase gland as well?
I don't really know if it's a gland or not, but I will say that you see what Grix is doing, and you're like, here, give it to me.
Well, Grix
And
is
you-
doing poorly.
Yes, you can see that as you're sort of fumbling around, and you see that maybe you're a little hesitant about getting close to the poison after you've seen what happened to Caden. So
Very true.
Yeah, I'll
Verlin,
get
you-
some venom for you.
yeah, so you recognize what he's doing. He's like, here, just give it to me, and then you get it, and you're able to get some of the venom in the vial. The only issue that you've got right now is that I don't believe any of you have any idea how long it's going to take. If none of you even know if Verlin's just or Caden's just going to be fine, or how long it'll take for him to be fine.
I'll just throw him over my shoulder and we'll get on with it.
You can do
Grix
that.
would highly disagree. Grix will look at it and he's no, that would be very bad if something else popped out and he was already down. We should try to bunker down here and see when he'll get better.
We don't even know if he'll get better.
That is true, but do you think it would be better to go out and be surprised by something else while carrying a lifeless body?
Well, if you wish to stay here, we can.
So
I just God.
so everybody make a perception check real quick.
Thank God I rolled low because I don't want to hear no kids.
Wow.
That's just.
Oh yeah, Caden, you hear it in your dreams.
Caden's the only one. Wow, that is
that's just a joke.
unreal.
I was just joking there.
I know, but that's hilarious. A 1, a 5, a 5, and a 6. Thankfully, it's not anything particular. This is more just a fun little thing to make Mike squirm about it. So as you guys are sitting there, you start to hear this sort of like almost like a plopping sound as these sort of husks that have been burnt now of like all of these like spider eggs just start dropping down from the chimney where you would sort of like set the where you would set the webs on fire, and they're starting to come loose, and these eggs are just nothing's coming out of them. It looks like they're all whatever was in them has been killed by the fire, but you can just hear them starting to like hit the ground and sort of pop.
Ugh.
It's gross.
Well, you guys
Grix
won't go
is gonna kind of look around to everyone and just say, "Well, how about we take a bit of a little bit of a rest. We don't have to sleep or anything, but just maybe we could give it a couple of hours to see if he's okay, and then if not, we can start moving."
I guess.
Yeah, that works.
I don't have much stake in it either way. Sure.
And like Spider didn't die, it just phased away. So
Yeah, do we know if those come back? Like,
they
is it
can,
vanish where?
as an action, or actually still as a bonus action, they can come back to the material plane.
I don't think it wants to come back.
It probably doesn't. Yeah, so you're relatively safe, I would assume.
Grix is going to call Pebble real quick and just say, Pebble, do you think you could maybe give me back a little bit of magic?
Oh yeah, I can do that. I have 3 I can give back.
All right, he will take back a 2 and a 1.
Okie doke.
All right, everybody make another perception check.
On one good roll that's not against other
Get
players.
Oh, that's another 0. Excellent.
So Pebble, I don't know. Maybe she's distracted by. Maybe she's running around just stomping on all of the spider eggs to make them pop and makes an interesting sound. But everybody else, slightly louder than before, you hear that child's voice singing the rhyme about the Oni.
Because that's not creepy at all.
All right. Grix is going to look around everyone and suggest, maybe we should lock the door, you know? And hey, we could turn
And
that,
shut out
that
the
light
light.
off. Yes, maybe it'll draw less attention.
I mean, that's what the rhyme actually says. The rhyme says, "Lock the door, turn out the light. The Oni, haunts the night."
So Grix will go ahead and nonstop Ray of Frost until this shit goes out. And look at Pebble and say, will you lock the door?
Okay. And she goes and locks the door.
All right, I can't actually make the fire go away, but I'll just
Mhm.
close that off so that you can't see it. Make the light go out.
And Grixel, yeah. Verlin, do you think you could put a couple of the heavier pieces of wood in front of the door?
Is the table in the middle bolted down?
No.
I will move the table in front of the door.
Which door? There are 3 doors. You could just put Caden's body up against one. He's not doing anything.
Well, I'll stand next
We'll
to
just
it.
prop him up against the open fireplace. No big
Exactly.
deal.
Just put him up as a
It will keep
doorstop.
me warm.
Well, no, we gotta do the weekend at Bernie's thing. We gotta just put him up holding his weapons and a shield and just make it look like he's still there for intimidation.
But yeah, throughout all of this, I mean, I would say it's been at least an hour. So you would.
I'll take a short rest too then.
So you
Yeah.
can.
And I will get
I'll
my
get
spell.
back that one spell slot I used.
I've used 3 spells so far, and between my Arcane Recovery and Pebble, I get them all back.
See, if I take a short rest, I just lose my dark vision, so I'm good.
Can I take a short rest and burn some hit die after I become unpoisoned?
I mean, Grix did say let's wait at least an hour or 2, so he will have no problem if you do wake up and then want to do that.
Technically, you're not unpoisoned. You're just unparalyzed. And
Okay.
the poison effect means that you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. So you are still poisoned. If you have the ability to unpoison yourself, you can do that.
I don't have lesser restoration prepared. Is there anything I could do with the herbalist kit and or like stuff I have on hand to make some sort of antitoxin?
I would say you probably with the poison that Verlin got from the spider, you would probably at some point be able to make one, but probably not in the situation that you're in right now.
Okay. That's fine. So I'm poisoned and
Okay, actually, let me take that back. I'm gonna because normally, the poisoned effect is a ongoing effect that stays until you're cured. But the wording on this actually does say, the target is stable but poisoned for 1 hour, even after regaining hit points, and is paralyzed while poisoned in this way. So it just says, but poisoned for 1 hour.
Yeah.
So I will say that it does work through your system. So I'll say that you're no longer poisoned either. It's worded a little bit differently than other things that poison you.
Right.
So
well, because other poisons also say they have some duration attached to them also, right?
sometimes,
Usually. Not always.
not always, but I think most of the time it does. Again, the problem that I have is that played 5e a lot, or I'm sorry, 3.5 a lot more than 5, and
Yeah.
3.5 was significantly more punishing than 5e. So there was a lot of stuff like that where, if you were poisoned, you were just poisoned until you cured yourself of it. But anyway, I would say so. You're at the very least you're back to 1 hit point, and then if you want to roll hit dice, you can do that.
Yeah. I can roll any number of hit die, right? Like one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And is it hit die plus con
Yeah.
for each hit?
And you know what? You're healing. Technically, I have something to help you with that. Get an extra 3.
Oh, hold on. So I forgot to add my con to that.
So are you singing, or are you
I
playing?
forgot to pick an instrument proficiency and which instrument I started with, so I don't know.
So for now, we'll say that you're just humming you're humming a tune that sounds similar to that stupid
Yep.
nursery rhyme about the Oni. And then you realize afterwards, like, it's soothing when you do it, but creepy when you hear the kid doing it.
Yeah, let's just roll all of them. Why not? Those are some great hit die rolls.
Man, the dice have not been friendly tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was the dice roll that actually had you get attacked by the thing in the first place. So it was definitely not in your favor.
I'm fine. This is the first time I'm using hit die anyway.
Yeah, I
think
mean, I
can't-
hardly ever end up using it, seems like.
If you do the adventuring days where it's like, the suggested like 6 to 8 encounters a day, it comes up, but I've never played with a table that actually uses that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I do prefer to have a more story-driven RP session versus a combat session, just because, I mean, that's just my personal style. But because I know, like, in the very, very first campaign that I ran, there was an Exandria campaign with Rob and Mike and Tara. We had a few where I ran the some of the Wizards of the Coast stuff, from the Tales of the Yawning Portal, and there were
Mhm.
like 3 or 4 sessions where it is a full dungeon dive where it's just nonstop fighting room.
This room is this many. This room is this many.
Yeah, and I even took some of them out, and I personally just find that very, very tedious.
It certainly can be.
And I mean, obviously there are certain, like, it's just a group, and what people like to do. I mean, obviously there's some people that cannot stand just sitting around talking and doing RP. They want to go on to the next round of combat, right? So I mean, there's a game for everybody, but the dungeon diving thing is definitely not my style. I think from time to time I could see doing it just as a change of pace. If there's but again, to me, it has to be it may be dungeon diving, but there has to be a decent, like, story reason for doing it,
Mm.
and not just, hey, we got a job to go clear out this dungeon or whatever. That's not my
Yeah, who would hire people to clear out a mansion full of
right. Like, that's just
creepy
so weird. But yeah, this
There
definitely won't be.
anything else going on here?
Yeah, there's nothing else currently in the room. So actually, given the time frame, I think it's probably a good place for us to stop.